with the pen, I'm learning life. My thirst is divine, words inspiring, perfect time, nurtured right. Them man there be learning lines, rehearsing life. Trust me, far from certified. Acting while you sleep, I'm working nights. I want all the ups to feel like that Jurgen guy on Merseyside.
Yes, guys. Yes, people. Apologies for the lateness, but you already know what we're about. We're never on time. You guys should be more worried if we actually start at 3 p.m. on the dot. But we're here. We're here. Ready to discuss everything regarding Salzburg away. As you guys can tell, my ass is not going there. But we'll be doing a watch along tomorrow. So keep a lookout for that as well. Hit the like button, subscribe on your way into the stream as always, even if you guys are watching after the stream's gone live. Hit the like button anyway, helps the channel out, helps me out. And yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts going into the game. Obviously, we did hear Havertz and Man City links, which, I mean, we've heard a couple times, but I've never really taken Man City links that seriously because I'd be very surprised if we sell to a rival club. But we can still entertain it. We can still discuss. I could see a few of you guys have already been talking about in the comment section. We can get into it. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe. Check out Jerseys FC for all your best affordable football jerseys. If you guys want to use the code Carefree, Lewis G gets yourself 20% off as well. What else? Check out Flawless's tune, Prayer for the Ops, down in the description below. Like, subscribe, and yeah, let's get straight into it. Big up Liam Lane. Big Ron, Toxic, saying Havertz and Man City, Lord, the only reason they won him is because he won Chelsea the chat. That's a funny part in itself. This guy was part of the team that gave you the most heartbreaking moment in your club's history. And you want to bring him back in, you want to bring him to your club and relive that. Fairs is what it is. Yeah, boys says, why are we laughing at this? This is good news. If City takes Havertz, that's a win, surely. Depends on the price tag, but for us, it would be. If we got any midfielder or any forward in the deal, I would be all for it personally. But in terms of like an actual transfer, City would be the last club I would sell to out of all the teams linked with him. Because even in that case, why would you sell to your rivals? Like, that's the only thing that's pushing me away from doing it. Big up Waston Wow, Sir Tommy Tuchel, Texas Blue. Big up Go AM crying in the comment section saying City giving us their rejects like rim job while taking Kai. Well, what would Kai be then? If we were taking City's rejects, what would Kai be? I prefer really not to speak. I prefer not to speak. Deals, I hope on my life that this is true. Because if this is true, give Potter the keys, give Potter everything, because he's turning Bowley away from getting CR37 to my club. Like, I don't care. My tune has completely changed since the summer. As soon as we got Aubameyang, we did not need his ass. And we still don't. So I'm good. We don't need him. We don't need him. What else everyone's saying? Big up Big Ron saying no, we're not getting Ronaldo. We're not getting Ronaldo. Maybe still 23. Maybe Pep could get something out. And maybe he could. I don't really care. When it comes to Man City, all I need to know is what are they giving us. If they're giving us a decent deal, I'm sure we could discuss it. Well, I would want us to, but it would have to be a good deal because fucking hell, like, actually, are we even strengthening our title rivals? I don't know. I don't know. Harrison, I did see this, but I mean, Fabrizio ain't been correct about everything. The guy also said we dropped a bid for Koundé, so I don't know what to say. Plus, he also said maybe we should give Havertz more patience and try him in another position in the same article. And it's like, bro, what more positions do you want? Should we play him in goal? Should we play him at centre-back? Should we play him in DM, seeing as we're struggling with DMs? Now, what's the point? I don't know. Like, I think, like, Bayern is still the most realistic destination. I could see him wanting to go back to Germany. I could see Bayern coming in for him. Every link that we've had has had Bayern Munich's name in it. And it would be much more reasonable and likely for Chelsea to sell away from England. So, I don't think City is that likely, but I do think there's interest. Because their name's popped around too much now. If there was barely anything, we would have heard it once. And that's it. And that's it. What's everyone's? Big up Flawless, my G. What are you telling me, bro? Hope you're good. Big up everyone saying congrats for the 28K too. Oh yeah, it's Abramovich's birthday. Big up, big up. I said lovely title. Why was everyone going at the title? All it says is Havertz linked with City. Is it the laughing emojis? The laughing emojis is because I thought Pep had good talent ID, but we move. Yeah, bro, people are worried about this like he'd start. Anyone who's worried about this transfer, tell me who he benches in the Man City starting 11. And when there's barely any responses, there you go. Mount has a GNA in 3 out of 15. It is a purple patch. Completely agree. He's ghosted the last 2 games after being back for about 3. I need to stop falling for this shit, you know. Like, I've stopped falling for Havertz's little purple patches. Why am I falling for Mounts? I can't be bothered. I'm doing it too much, bro. I need a 6-game run of form from Mount now. Same as Havertz. I need a 6-game run of form because I'm tired of it. Yeah, bro, I watched his stream yesterday. He was saying that. KDB replacement. Let me not talk. So Tommy Tuchel says, Lewis, you gotta hold this L when City buy Havertz and he stat pads a Premier League title over us. Are we holding an L because we got rid of Nathan Ake and he stat padded a league title? No. So same energy, please. Like, no, this is stupid. If a guy fails at our club for years and then succeeds somewhere else, why am I going to look at it like he wasn't a bum at our club and be like, oh, but we could have done something with him. He could have improved. No. Like, let's be real. If he doesn't improve by the end of the season, I think we're well within our rights to say Chelsea did everything they could. And if he goes to another club and balls out, good. As long as we get a decent fee, I don't care. Like, I really couldn't care less. I care about our team and whether our team can improve or not. It's as simple as that. When's the shirt raffle? Brighton review. We'll do it on the Brighton review because I'm off for like the next day or 2 after that. I'm traveling out. So we're going to do the shirt giveaway and we're going to do the tier list rankings as well. Actually, will we do the tier list rankings then or when I get back? I'll think of that, but the shirt raffle will be for the Brighton review. What else is everybody saying? Havertz doing the KDB, bruv. This stupid comparison, bruv. KDB didn't start 5 games for my football club, and people want to make the comparison. It's ridiculous. Bro. I was trying to shush us again by going to City. Couldn't care less, bruv. He probably won't score enough to shush us. Anything. Exactly, like, who does he start over? People want to act like I'd be worried. Ideally, I'd rather sell outside of England. But to be honest, like, if you sell in England, you could probably get more money for the transfer because you could say, oh, we're a rival and everything, so you have to pay premium. Could go either way. No, Johnny doesn't convince me because he tried to get me to apologize on his stream and I wouldn't do it. I stand by all of my opinions. I think I was just happy with the fact that he was finally starting to get GNA, but yeah, fucker. He was just a purple patch. It was just another purple patch. Can't be arsed. Can't be fucking off. My brother said David Silva regen, you know. You're disrespectful. You're actually disrespectful. Ha! Oh my gosh. A man said David Silva and Havertz in the same sentence. Bruv. Forest away move to New Year's. Yeah, we spoke about this, whatever the last game was. I don't care, man, because Nottingham's still a good night out. We could just go out on New Year's Eve and then go to the game on New Year's Day. Simple. Aye, Flawless. If you're about as well, if you're still in the stream, Nottingham New Year's, what are you telling me? Shout me. Chelsea have been told by Frankie de Jong's representatives that the midfielder would consider whatever. If he does that, force a move. Same energy as the summer. Because that was the longest and most frustrating transfer saga since probably Havertz 2020. And yeah, I can't be bothered for it. If you want to leave, hand in a transfer request. Like, Barca want to get rid of you. People are acting like this is hard. This isn't a hard decision to make. If he wants to leave, make it easy for us. Because we could have easily taken him in the summer. Everyone's saying facts, crit. Yeah. Werner at least presses at this point. Yeah, you're correct, bruv. Big up yourself, Chris. It has been a minute. I hope you're good. That's what everyone was saying facts, Chris, to. Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. That's facts. I'm telling you, if this brother don't switch it up, he's our top 5 worst signings, and he's not 5th. Debatably top 3. Yeah, bruv. He's better, Grealish. That said Grealish. Speaking of, if we could get him in a swap deal, please, I beg. I fucking beg. Sterling Loki has been crap. Man doesn't take the shot. He's been crap the last few games. I'm not going to subscribe to this bullshit that he's been crap since he joined. He was our only good attacker when Tuchel was here. He's just fallen off a cliff the last few games. I'll give him time to get back into form. Like, it's his first season and he already showed his quality in the first few games, but he needs to be benched. I said this in the last stream. He has to be benched. His performances haven't been good enough anymore to warrant a start. He didn't turn up in the United game. Needs to be benched because Pulisic has been screaming for a start. If he can't start this game, I don't know when he starts. Yeah, bro, a man said David Silva, you know. David Silva. Bruv. David Silva has a better range of passing in his bowel movements than fucking Havertz has on both feet, and they want to make that comparison. Fucking hell. Are you happy with the new Prime Minister from India? What? I don't know. I don't follow Indian politics like that. Please tell me he doesn't think I'm Indian. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Flawless, give me a shout, bruv. Give me a shout. Oh, shit. I don't follow politics like that. I won't even lie to you. It is a mid-off. It is a massive mid-off. Okay, so who's actually playing better under Graham Potter besides Kepa? Chalobah, Jorginho, in the attack, probably nobody. Mount, even though Mount's disappeared over the last 2 games. In midfield, Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, Loftus-Cheek has been better under Potter. He's been way better. Gallagher, Pulisic. There's names. Like, we're not going to act like it's just Kepa. There are plenty of other names. Willian was better than that. Yeah, you're correct. Willian already has the same amount of G&A this season as Havertz. Correct, my friend. Correct. Mount was Mount was fucking terrible, bruv. The whole attack was. Fabrizio spoke about Kante. Let me see. Was there anything on Kante? I bet it's the same bollocks that we already know. He doesn't want to sign or some bullshit. I can't find anything on Twitter though. There's no agreement between Chelsea and Kante to sign new contract. He's happy in London, but there's nothing agreed. Feeling is Kante has serious chances to leave it as a free agent in June. Also up to new directors, aka the same old shit. I'm so not surprised, but we move. Anything else? Sign a striker. Oba's not here long term. We need a striker anyway. Like, Oba was here for this season, potentially next, and I'd be surprised if we use him after that. So, yeah, completely agree. Striker's got to come in, but we need to sort our midfield first. Midfield and right wing back depth first before we do anything else. Then a creator, then a striker. That's how I think we should move. That midfield has to be the first thing we sort out before we even look anywhere else. Reece James, we just keep running him into the ground, and like we need a wing back. We need creativity in midfield and in attack. And then get me a goal scorer. Oh, yeah, now that's something I couldn't agree with. We should have fucking kept Juan Mata. That pissed me off to no depth. What else? Several. David Silva, bro, you know that's disrespect, bro. That is a madness. That is a fucking madness. Why is it that Werner left and now people are bigging him up like he weren't our worst attacker for like 2 years? Because he wasn't. Havertz was. I prefer not to speak. Havertz managed to hide behind Werner for 2 years. Now he's gone. There's nowhere to hide. Nowhere to hide. We're around, bruv. And we can see you. Well, in some games. In other games, we can't even see you. But we move. Chalobah was good under Tuchel. Yeah, but like he was barely playing. He was likely going on loan if Tuchel stayed. So like he's had more opportunities under Graham Potter. He's had more game time. And he looks more solid than he did in his first season under Tuchel. Like, he was shaky in his first season. I can see him maturing a lot already. So, yeah. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we can take Mason Mount out there. You know what? Fair enough. But there are still names. There are still other names. None of you are hearing Mount, bruv. And you know what? I don't blame you. Yeah, it is actually nitpicking. It's only because you had that little purple patch. You didn't even fucking have that under Tuchel. But yeah, that is like trash v garbage. I said Bundesmile merchant. He's not going to re-sign, so it is what it is. Like, he wants 3+1. He hasn't even played 3 games this season. Just let him go. Whole attack thing as well. Remind me what you mean by that, because I've just completely forgot what you're talking about on that. But let me know, and we can discuss it. Clicks? Nope. Fraser, though, he's not asking for 3+1. Jorginho, we don't even know what he's asking for, but it's not come out that he's asking for crazy contract lengths or anything. The biggest question has been him wanting a 30k extension, which I still don't mind. Like, I think 30k is fine. It's the same thing we gave Aspi. I still think Jorginho offers something to this team, regardless of what anyone says. He can come off the bench and kill off games, and that's a good role for him. And I will die on that hill. In terms of him starting, like, you could phase him out even with the extension, but I do think he's a good squad player. And if people don't want to agree with that, that's fair, but I'll die on that hill. I will die on that hill. That process you just mentioned will take 2 to 3 windows. No, because like we're already looking to get a midfielder in January. We get a DM, we could look for an 8, a wing back, and a creator as a bare minimum in the summer window. And then potentially go for a striker too. We definitely could. Listen to what Matisse... I'll have to watch it. I don't know what he said. Big up Matisse and everything, but I didn't hear what he said. Oh, big up Josh is saying Chelsea need to unlock the generator. Bro, you can have him, my friend. You can have him, my guy. And, bro, you and me have had enough chats on Xbox. I know you'll fucking take him. So, take him, bro. Take him. Also, let me know you guys' thoughts on Salzburg. We ain't even spoken about that. that game is still must win. We win that game, we're basically through as group winners. Like, we're not confirmed, but it's very favourable for us. We shouldn't fuck up from there. And if we do that, we get one game where we can fucking rotate everybody. Zagreb at home, everybody can be rotated. And I think that would be invaluable with the Arsenal game coming up on the Sunday. Because after that Zagreb game, we have the week from hell before we go off to the World Cup. We've got Arsenal at home, we've got City away in the Cup, and then we've got Newcastle away in the league. So we have to fucking turn up in this game. No bollocks, no dragging this game out. Just do away with Salzburg, and then we can just rotate for Zagreb, and we'll probably be a lot better off for it with our next 3 games. What else? Is there anything else on that game? Yeah, Salzburg have a couple injuries. I think Sesko is still potentially out or will be on the bench. Okafor's still going to start, though. He's bagged 3 in 4 in the Champions League. Other than that, they have a couple injuries, but it's a bunch of players who I can't really tell you too much about. But we should still be winning anyway. We dominated Salzburg at home in our first game under Graham Potter. It was just same old bollocks up top that fucked us over because it opened the door for Salzburg to potentially steal something. They hit us on transition and we fucking struggle in transition, and they scored. Okafor, as he's been scoring for them the entire competition. But we should still be beating them. Let me know you guys' thoughts. No, I can. He scored the Champions League winning goal. So, like, everyone's going to give him a year or 2 of blind faith just off that because they all want him to succeed. My guy, Klasrev has respectfully retired. He's gone to work for Christoph Frund in RB Salzburg's scouting system. Well, that is what he told me. So, we've lost Klasrev. It is what it is, my friend. It is what it is. Yeah, I did see this. Jonathan David, Ivan Toney, Rafael Leao, and potentially Ronaldo. But I think Potter still has to give the go-ahead on that. So, that is not happening. That is definitely not happening. Kai, you're a prick, bruv. You're a prick. Look at all you simps in the comments. Fuck you lot, innit? We've actually done videos together, so you know that answer anyway, so fuck off. But anyway, what were we saying? And Cuckoo's coming in the summer. Yeah. But people saying January. That is definitely not happening. Don't get rid of your best player midway through the season. That's pointless. City game is calm, not a priority to win. I get, but like it would be nice to win a domestic trophy for once. Our last one was in 2018. And if we beat Man City, we've knocked the favourites out. So like I look at it like we win regardless. If we get knocked out by City, we have a like midweek games where we can rest. And I think that helps us out in the second half of the season. But if we go through, we're one of the favourites. Because we've knocked out the favourites and everybody else we can beat. So I wouldn't say it's not a priority. I think both sides rotate, but you could see Haaland start, you could see Aubameyang start, you could see, I don't know, Jorginho start. The players that aren't likely to that aren't going to the World Cup, you'd probably see start that one. If you want to give Clyde City or delusional, depends on what they offer. If they offer a good price tag, because we can demand a premium fee with them being a rival, or if they offer a player in the deal too, I'm down. Not any old deal, though. That's for Bayern. Bayern can offer whatever the fuck they want. Does Koulibaly have low-key bozo gene? Not really. I keep saying my issue with Koulibaly is that he never starts a game well. Always starts slow, always looks a bit sloppy, and he has to get into the game. And that's my problem with him. I do think he can get himself out of that, But he can't keep playing like that because eventually someone's going to catch him out. Like, in fact, it already happened against Leeds. Leeds, he was sloppy as fuck, gave away a stupid yellow, and they targeted him for the rest of the game. Cucurella, like, I saw an article, he had tonsillitis, and I think he lost a couple pounds as a result. So Potter's happy to take him in and out of games, and it probably explains his drop in form too. But I never really thought Cucurella was a big worry or anything. Even with his iffy games, like, his start to the season was so good. Like, I know his quality. He is very good in 1v1s. I think offensively he's good too. It's just, I don't know what happened the last 2 games, but I'm guessing it's the tonsillitis. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not too worried about Cucurella. I'm not too worried about Koulibaly. I think once the defense gets a better understanding of each other too, you'll see us look a lot more solid. I think that's the reason why our defenses look so leaky. It's because there's been so many new additions to it. Give it like a couple months or something. I would expect our defense to be a lot more solid. Big up Baba saying Zachary. Yes, literally rotate everybody. You could see the likes of Zakaria play. You could see Chukwuemeka start, Broja. You could see well, Chalobah would already be starting in general anyway. Fringe players, all the fringe players. Give Mendy a run out. Fuck it, give Mendy a run out. Asp, I don't know. Any players that barely start. Because, like, I think we'd have to lose by, like, 3 or 4 goals to Zagreb for us to drop first place if we win tomorrow. That's why tomorrow is so important. We have to fucking win. Have to win. Yeah, expressions really fucked me over with that. I still can't escape that name. But we move. It's cool. I used to get called that all the way through secondary school. Keep saying, if you saw the way I looked in secondary school, I was literally like a wish Carlton Banks. I had the shitty tash, the little high top and everything. I never even watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air like that. I just looked like him. Do I think Nkunku's better as a creator or goal scorer? I think goal scorer, but I ain't too sure. I ain't too sure. Bro, Josh, I keep saying this thing about us having 6 clean sheets was fucking fugazi, bruv, because we should have conceded against Villa. We should have conceded against Brentford. It was only Kepa that was the difference, not the defense. The defense was too leaky. Way too leaky. Like, I don't think the 5 or 6 clean sheets in a row means our defense has been solid for every single one of those games. I think it's a bit of a fugazi stat, but people will just look at the stat and just think we've been brilliant defensively. I don't think we have. Villa, we were so fucking lucky not to concede. Brentford as well. So, nah, I don't really agree with that, but we move. Bruno Guimaraes links. Where? I have never seen that, and I also think that's very unlikely. He seems so happy at Newcastle right now. And Newcastle are richer than us. We're the latest club to join the race in signing Newcastle. Yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. No, I don't even think it's a vile. Like, I'll take it. I did look like Carlton Banks. That, like, I didn't even feel offended by it. Again, I've heard it for years, like a decade, bro. Like, I'm used to it. Anything else? Should I send the link out? Anything else? Defense FC, bring up what I posted on Twitter with Mount and Havertz stats. What did you say? All right, cool. I'll do this and then I'll send the link out. Was it the one about the Mason Mount post? Or is it the fact that Willie announced... Oh, well, yeah, I've seen this. We are blessed with these 2 generational talents and his fucking Mount and Havertz's stats. Yeah, bro, you're just preaching to the choir with this one. Mount had a nice little purple patch and got 2 goals and 2 assists. Havertz just had 2 goals out of nowhere. And then that was it. Fucking Willian's got the same amount of GNA as Havertz. He's got 2 less than Mount. If Willian manages to get more GNA than Mount this season, yeesh. Don't even get me started. Yeah, I saw this. Chilwell was hella shameless for that. He was like, our defense has improved under Potter. What? We had the best defense in Champions League history under Tuchel. Like, this time last year was our best defense. It hasn't improved. It hasn't improved at all. We've been leaky in defense for like a good part of this season, personally. And I'm not too worried about it because I understand. I keep saying that defense needs to get a better understanding of each other, and that will only happen with more games. As of right now, they will be leaky at times. But let's not sit here and pretend like our defense has been brilliant for 6 games, because they haven't. It's been fake. It's been so fake. But we move. Alright, cool. We'll drop the link. Let me just see if anyone else has said nothing. We're leaking goals every game under Tuchel before it got fired. Yeah, this season, it's not been good in general. That's why I'm saying, how has it improved? It hasn't improved. Like, we've been shaky in general. Josh, I just don't think you're going to listen to it. But it is what it is. Like, the clean sheets are there. The defense has not looked good. Not looked good except the Wolves game and the Milan games. Those are the only ones where it's been like, okay, I think we've been solid defensively. Other than that, Palace, we weren't solid. Fucking Villa, we weren't solid. And Brentford, we weren't solid. Simple as that. But yeah, give me a sec. I'm going to send the link out. We'll chop up this fucking Salzburg game a bit. Because we haven't even spoken about it too much. So on the one, coach leaking goals, and on the one, we aren't. Our defense has not looked solid. Kepa has looked better in those 2 games. Our defense was leaky as fuck. Villa, every defender wasn't good enough. Chalobah was the best of a bad bunch. Brentford, I think it was only Chalobah that looked solid as well. Koulibaly looked a bit shaky on the turn. Cucurella I didn't really notice him too much. Asby didn't really notice him too much either. Give me a sec. I'm going to just send this link out. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking for ages. Bear with me, guys. While I'm doing this, just hit the likes. Would greatly appreciate it. Twitter lagging. You love to see it. Fucking love to see it. Said literally fucking nobody. What the fuck? Is this even sending? Alright, my Twitter might be bugging. Can't be fucking arsed. If I send you guys the links twice, my bad. It's just, I can't see if I'm sending it to anyone or not. Let me check on my phone. Is it even fucking sending? Yeah, it's not even sending. What the fuck? Ah! Hey, Jem wants a link as well. Cool. 1 second. I'll send you the link too. If it even fucking sends, because this is just pissing me off. Well, I'll send this to guys on Insta, because I know that shit will work. Gotta love it. It's never fucking easy, is it? It's never just straightforward. I said maybe I'm banned. Maybe I'm banned. Nah, they wouldn't have banned my old account for what? That's fucking okay. I don't know if they're sending. Let me try my other account. If it is that, then maybe my new account got banned or some shit. I don't even know why. To even say some madness on that. Okay, yeah, it isn't sending. All right, cool. Let me try on my big accounts. We call it big account. I don't know. Let me try on that. Never easy, is it? Has that sent? Jem, let me know if you get on this account. If not, then I'm just gonna guess nothing's working. And everyone else, I'm just gonna try and find you lot, innit? This might be a Twitter thing. Might be just Twitter bugging. Oh shit! Okay, I think it's it might be my old account. I think that one's just fucked. Yeah, I can hear people coming in now. I think it's got back to normal. Okay, anyone else, if they just want the link, just DM me, because this is just taking way too fucking long. Yes, guys. What's everyone saying?
Peaky Blinders, Asian version.
Oh shit! Yes, Fatta.
Hey, I'm trying. I might wear this for Pride Away next week. Hey,
You're looking solid.
Looking
solid though.
I'll try.
Yeah, you're looking smartly dressed, bro. What are you saying? You got a date or something?
No, what are you on about? It's next week, innit? For the Zagreb game. What are you on about?
It's like, oh, fair enough. But
you trying to look as English as possible for that game?
Look, I'm telling you, I can sense something gonna happen tomorrow in it, but
something good.
Are you actually going to the game?
Hey, Jem, that's private, man. Secondly, as well, I reckon he's gonna rotate as well next week.
You reckon tomorrow, what?
Sorry. I think Potter's gonna rotate for tomorrow's game.
I think we probably need to seal tomorrow first.
Let's not put Sterling in the lineup, I would say. Don't put him.
He's going to rotate a little bit, but he's still going to have the most important members out there to get the job done, I would hope. Yeah, he'll put like Pulisic in maybe, and that'll be it.
Yeah, probably the same defense that finished the game.
Is that a home game or away game?
Away
tomorrow.
Are you going to the game, Fatou?
No, but I think if we win tomorrow, I think that's it. Right? The Champions League.
Yeah, we qualify. I don't know if it means we win the group, but I think it means we qualify.
Nah, it puts us in a good position. Like,
Yeah,
if
it'll
we
be
lose by
hard
3
to
or 4,
overturn.
then we drop out first, and I doubt we do that. So that's why tomorrow, like, is massive for us, because that game where we can rotate would be invaluable, especially with the games coming up. That next week of fixtures is fucking ridiculous. I said Arsenal, City, and Newcastle in a week.
Hey,
so
12 p.m. kickoff Arsenal. By the way, on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's the early game.
That's an early
for us.
game.
I know what time it is for you guys.
Early for us. 7
Even for
a.m.
them
game.
on a Sunday, that's an early one. I don't know if there are any
Sunday
games that-
7
Yeah.
The Arsenal game is 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
on Sunday.
I
Yeah.
think it's
I thought it was
Sunday.
Saturday.
It's a Sunday. That's why it's so
Sunday.
strangely early.
6 games at least before the World
Usually
Cup.
Saturday games are early, not Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday game's never
Yeah,
that
I know
early.
it's weird, but it's a Sunday.
Yeah,
6 o'clock
games
my
before- yeah.
time.
So
Yeah,
my
so-
calculation is it's
Nobody
about
cares
6
about
games
you,
before the
Moya.
World Cup.
It's not important.
Screw you, Alex.
Again,
East-
who are we gonna play
East
then
Coast,
tomorrow?
baby.
If he's
Move
gonna
to the
rotate the squad?
move where population is. East Coast.
I mean, it's Chicago where there's population, there's people around me.
That's-
You
You'd be
live.
surprised.
You have
you'd be
trees for
surprised how many-
neighbors, bro.
You'd be surprised how many beers you can drink at 7 a.m. if you're motivated. So,
Trust me, I've seen
Yeah,
enough
but-
people on
yeah.
and
I mean,
off.
your day is essentially gone after that, but at least you
Look,
the morning you could get inspiration.
You know, I work at the college events like football and stuff. We put in rating games like when my team is playing, and we get it at like 12 noon kickoff. That means that all the drunkenness is gonna
Dude,
be.
Noon kickoffs suck for college football. Oh, if you're trying to go to the game or tailgate or anything like that, it
Yeah.
sucks.
Cool, Kai just sent it on Insta.
I think it's starting to come in now. I got 2 links
Yeah,
from
it's
2
starting to
different
come in.
Yeah,
accounts.
I got your link from your other account too. So
Okay, so it wasn't my laptop. Thank God. Big up Felix saying, mentality of these players is weak. Chilwell posting an Insta pic celebrating a goal after a home draw. We need to build a team of old Chelsea mentality. I was the Insta post that deep? Was it really?
I didn't think so. He's allowed to celebrate. What's more pathetic is celebrating a 50 or 95th minute goal time or game tying goal like you won a trophy. That's more embarrassing.
What?
Actually,
what's
I think it's the opposite, Josh. I think when
What's
we
going
had
on?
the lead, it's Chilwell's
When-
Instagram post celebrating in the draw. I guess he celebrated in the picture he posted, and people don't like it.
Yeah.
I think it's worse celebrating when you had the win and you bottled it than celebrating when you were gonna ended up with
Look.
0 points, but you were able to salvage 1. Personally,
Finally,
Celebrating
bro.
celebrating a last minute draw like you won a trophy is pathetic.
yeah. I mean, it's
don't think
shameless, but
I don't think
I
he
don't-
celebrates the United goal.
I don't like it, Jim. I don't like it, bro.
It's not. Yeah, he didn't post Casemiro and say, "Oh, this is awesome."
Yeah.
He's just celebrating with the fans. I mean,
That's what I am.
I didn't get it.
I disagree. Chilwell has Leicester mentality, bro. He has to go. That's it, man.
What is wrong
Well,
with you?
Scott,
Kai?
you think
Just football
That's
focus.
mentality.
Fatur, by the way, you look like a Croatian human trafficker, bro. I love the hat, bro. I love it, man.
Really, Kai? You're just saying words just to say it, aren't you?
He does, bro. Go to Google right now, right? Croatian human trafficker.
Dude, I don't need to Google. I know them.
And there you go, then. You know what I mean, man.
2 lorry tickets. Pick up this.
Don't. He's actually looking nice.
Yeah, he looks
Asian
nice.
Peaky
Fatur,
Blinder.
Fatur, you look nice, man. Why Peaky Blinders? bro?
Asian Peaky Blinder. That's
Yeah.
it.
I know
Yeah.
it's love these hats, man. But yeah,
Yeah, it looks good,
Yeah.
man. It looks good. It looks good on you, man.
Tell Kai to.
exactly. Brighton away.
No, seriously.
Was he
Kyle,
celebrating a draw though, or was he like trying to talk about like the atmosphere during the goal? Because
The
I feel like that's
atmosphere
what
when
he's
they
trying
scored
to
the
say.
goal. Come on,
we
leave the
scored
kid alone.
first, guys. It's not like he's celebrating us drawing at the end. Like we scored first. The game, they thought the game was over. 6 minutes of stop time for whatever reason, but like he's allowed to post a picture of. I mean, Asby did it. Most of the guys who post a picture they're not sulking like, oh goddamn, I can't believe it. Like it is what it is. It's a disappointing result, but
The picture shows that he celebrates Chelsea scoring a goal.
yeah. That's it.
Nothing
Yeah,
much.
that's what he said. Moments like this, he was talking about the moment specifically.
Yeah,
I
because
don't think it's a
exactly.
case of like happy to get a point against Manchester United, so satisfied. No, it's not talking like that. I feel like people are reaching a little bit with that one.
Yeah, I'm not offended by it. I don't hate it, but I don't really support it either. I can see why people don't like it. I can see that. Yeah, you can big up the atmosphere and the fact that we scored. That moment was good, but the end of the game was disappointing.
But did he post at the end of the game? Or did he post it, or his social media guy posted it when we scored? Because you don't know.
Probably after the game.
It'll
Hey,
have to
we
be
have athletes.
Like-
We have athletes here in the States that'll post highlight clips of themselves in a loss. So I don't mind him celebrating with the fans.
I think we go into slippery road that does not need to be talked about.
Yeah,
this is more about this is way more about people not liking Chilwell than about his posts. This is all it
I
is.
think it's more about Kai's insecurity about himself and Chilwell celebrating.
Me, I like Chilwell. What did I say? I didn't even disagree with the post. Alex, come on, bro.
You just told the guy to go.
Come on, bro.
Kai, you literally just said he's got Leicester mentality and he needs to go. You said he
was-
has to leave
that
the
was
club.
sounds like a typical
That was
agenda.
sarcasm, bro. Come on, man. You guys are more intelligent than this.
Yeah.
I was making fun of the people who are doing it, man. I like Chilwell, man. I was just joking.
Kai does like him.
I love Chilwell, man. You know, he's never mind. Actually, I don't want Lewis's.
Maybe
based
we
on
should
rumors,
send
but-
those Croatian human traffickers after your ass.
Hey, man, I love Croatia, man. I love
I know
Croatia, man.
one of the most beautiful cities, countries, especially the
Yeah.
man.
And the girls, man. Yabba dabba doo, man. As well. Yeah.
I said yabba dabba doo. I can't be asked. Right. Salzburg. Well, what are we saying? What midfield do you think we're gonna go for this one?
I don't care. It's
Jorginho.
bomb
Yeah,
number
that's-
one, bomb
yeah.
number two,
Yeah,
bomb number
Zakaria.
three.
I know, but like, what bums do we want to see together?
Jorginho.
It's
don't think
gonna
we're
be
gonna-
literally.
Do you reckon
it's gonna be
Jorginho and
literally
Chukwuemeka?
I don't think we're gonna get bummy enough to choose Zakaria though.
Chukwuemeka's looking
He's still not
decent, he is.
playing.
Zakaria, no? Should we give Zakaria a chance? You know,
He's not playing.
Now, Zakaria next week if we win.
Did you see him warming up
Zagreb
during the
just
game?
rotate
I was like, he might actually come on. Wait a minute, he's not coming on.
bro, Zakaria is living the life, bro. He just trains with us. You know, he's like a Make-A-Wish kid, bro. He goes there for the training. He trains with them, but he doesn't play, bro. He's just there for the pictures, man. Oh man.
I guess it just depends on if he plays it.
If we win tomorrow, I'll put Chukwuemeka for Zagreb game.
Yeah. So would I.
It just I think it just depends on if he's going to play a 2 or 3 man midfield. If it's a 2-man midfield, it'll probably be Ruben and Kovacic.
I don't want to see no Zakaria.
What the hell?
No, I'm not talking about
What's wrong with
Zakaria.
you,
I'm not
people?
talking about Zakaria. He's not going to play.
That's like a bomb number 5.
Lost to Sheikh Kovacic and Mount.
I don't think we're gonna see him anyway, Alex.
I'd say 3 in midfield though, because for the most part we had control over Salzburg when we were playing with 3 in midfield in the last game. So I would want to continue with that. We got caught once in defensive transition and we were poor with our chances before that. And typical. But it was also Potter's first game. Felix with another super chat. Big up yourself, my guy, saying it's not just the post, it's us bottling it every point and not having the grit to beat teams we should. You don't think we have a mentality problem? But bro, the last 4 or 5 managers have spoken about us having a mentality problem. I don't think anyone's
it's not
saying
about
that.
it's not about
mentality. I think it's talent. It's talent. I don't think it's mentality. I think it's talent, bro.
That's my point. Remember when we hold on a second. Remember when we had a conversation earlier. What percentage do you apply to those players? Like talent?
That's a good one.
Like what is like none of them. None of those problems that we now see. It's mental. None of it.
It's mentality, bro. I hate that mentality thing, bro.
No. The problem is with mentality. It's identifying that you used to have something and you lost it. How you could say that you used to have something and you lost it when you never had it?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, that's true, man. It doesn't make sense, bro.
Remember Fernando Torres? He used to be a striker. So when he came to Chelsea, he became bomb number 1. But the problem was, you can tell it's mentality because we know who he used to be. Now, who was used to be?
Yeah.
It's a still.
I don't.
I think there's a bit of a mentality as well. Look at Mason Mount. He's not talented at all, but I think it's a mentality that brings it as far as he is.
He's not-
At all,
No,
by the way. At all, by the way.
Come on, you
he's
guys are
average.
exaggerating.
No, he's
Hey,
average at
listen,
best. For me, he's
Jem, you can shake your head. He fucking stinks.
He's above
stinks.
average. He's above
And
average,
listen,
bro.
if he is your barrier for a good player, you got a serious standard issue.
It ain't.
It's
It
not
ain't.
harsh.
It
It's
It's
a little
trash.
harsh.
ain't,
A little harsh.
It's
He's-
not.
he's-
But when we're sitting here moaning about Mason Mount with the state of the forwards that we've currently got, I do worry. Yeah. a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit.
Who's supposed to give
Havertz as well,
Aubameyang? Who's supposed to give
Havertz as well.
Aubameyang the ball? Who's supposed to create for Aubameyang?
Jesus,
But we're
bro.
also doing this.
I'll wait. Guess what? He's not supposed to pick it up at the half
We're
line and take it by himself.
we're also doing this thing of where, and I've seen it across the spaces as well, where
Yeah.
I'm looking for that Eden Hazard player in our team.
We-
We
we-
haven't got it. So what is
Yeah,
it
we
that
don't
you
have
think we've got? That's what I don't get. It's this,
I'm just
I
looking for
understand that.
wing-
I understand their talents. I know what they can do. And it isn't actually anything massively great,
You
to be
do-
honest.
But you
I
think
just
it's talent, though,
understand.
Jim? You think it's talent, bro?
Huh?
Bro, it's like
I
it's
think
chemistry and
sometimes it's just basic football ability.
yeah, they just
Yeah,
don't have
crossing
it.
the ball.
Yesterday.
I'm not talking about Mount specifically. I'm talking about
Yeah, I'm
all
talking
of
about
them.
the squad. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Sometimes
average,
it's just the football ability. Like,
Yeah.
look, people saying we look for Hazard. Hazard is one of those players that really, literally comes in a generation. Not generation,
Yeah.
but at least 12 to 20 years. One of those talent players.
Yeah.
How about give me a simple? I don't want something. Give me something like Juan Mata that can look for the ball,
Yeah.
give the ball, nothing special. That
Yeah, Mata
or
and this team
even
would be good.
Oscar, or even
Alex-
Oscar talent, because Oscar
Alex,
could
you-
pass the ball.
Alex, you know what's a good start? You could play wingers on the wing
Or midfielders in
and
the
not
midfield.
and not try to force feed an average midfielder into as a wing and make him a winger. 'Cause
Wait.
he's
Look.
abysmal.
Josh,
Yeah.
that's not it. You know what I realized? We're gonna get him manager sacked, just like we did the other manager.
He's the one who plays them. I don't know what to tell you. Like He's the one starting these guys week in and week out. Like that's what's gonna happen to you.
yesterday. That's what you know. Like I was thinking, it's not on manager. We have bums.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think like it is on the manager in the some point because he's the one that gets the lineup. He's the one should have cojones to drop the player when he doesn't play. Because at the end of the day, I think he's trying to please everybody in the squad. Just like Tuchel did in the beginning. Remember how many substitutions Tuchel did in the beginning?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, and then he
all
got
of them.
settled with his lineup.
Well,
And
here's the
he-
thing, Alex. If
and-
he rotates players, then at least you can say it's on the players. Like if you're continuing to play these same guys, at some point I'm going to start looking at you because you're the one making the decisions. Like if you're rotating and they're still not performing, well then I can go, you know what? We just don't got it. Like these guys just aren't good enough. Nobody's playing well when they get a chance.
And I
Nobody's
follow up on
playing
you,
well.
last week,
But
yeah.
right now it's like you're just playing the same guys. We see the same shit every week.
Bro, and people arguing with me. People saying that Pulisic should do more, but Pulisic is because I'm an advocate of giving people chances, right? Because right now, Pulisic, we might not agree that he's good or not, but still, man, he deserves a chance. The way that Mount and Havertz are playing, bro, anybody, even Alex deserves a chance in this fucking team, bro. Like you can do worse. You can't do worse than 11 fucking appearances and having 2 goals, man. That is
You
that's
lost me when you
outrageous,
said
bro.
I'm a believer in the second chances. No, you're not.
Yeah.
I am literally, man. Hey, man, I'm like a life coach, bro. But anyway, bro, when you look at some of these guys, you'll be like, when you go, like nobody ever goes to McDonald's, see the cashier, and be like, this guy's a software. In heart, he's a software engineer. You know, same thing with our players, bro.
In Russia, you
I
would.
watched him play, bro, and I'm like, I never think, oh, these guys are gonna be Eden Hazard in the future. I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I doing this to myself, bro? I can go outside, man. It's a nice Saturday. It's sad, man. Like literally, I said it on the other stream, yeah. When I was watching Leao, I was cheering for Leao in a Chelsea match just because he dribbled, bro. I miss dribbling, bro. I miss players who are able to dribble in the attack. You know what I mean?
No, in attack, yes. This is exactly the point.
We haven't got.
Isn't it?
We
No,
haven't got
like,
any person.
I know, man.
Apart from Sterling, man.
He don't do it enough. And this is the problem, isn't it? Really.
It's not
Yeah.
only enough. How you like? I agree with you. Sterling has to do enough. Mount has to do enough. They all has to do. Even Aubameyang has to do.
No.
That's why, like literally,
Some
when
of these
I watched
guys are
the
not
game
capable,
against,
though.
But
Alex.
it's like, when are we actually going to look past the forward line here? Because we buy Sterling, and I told everyone when we bought Sterling it weren't enough. I've said it a million times on my streams to everyone that it ain't enough. I keep explaining to you guys, everyone. I keep explaining to everyone that we have to eventually look past just individuals. Even though I think the performances have to be better, but we can clearly see that we're not balanced. We can clearly see that we lack creativity from a deeper line. We can clearly see that we lack a dribbler. There's a number of things in this team that we lack.
We need a creative 10. We need a creative 10. Like, it's enough,
just
man.
one
We
of
need somebody
many
can do a
things,
through ball,
we
man.
need
one of
more
the-
than
We have a
just
creative
creative.
10, apparently.
We need we need two midfielders. Yeah, we need one DM who's defensively minded and one creator who's a 10
need
or
two.
an actual
We
8.
need 2 midfielders. Look,
So we do, man.
Two midfielders, a dribbler. We need more creators on the pitch. We need actually another wing back to cover Reece James along with that as well. About
First of all,
3 or 4 different
we need to
positions.
know. No.
So what was
first
the
of
point
all,
of signing Sterling then?
No. Hold on a second, Fatur. I think it's bigger problem than that. We don't know what style of game we play in.
You
So
can't
how
do that with the squad, Alex. That's the problem.
I know that.
This
I
is
know
why I
that.
ignore the
And
system thing with people. When they say player 3, player 4, player 3, player 4.
this is why I'm gonna steal something from Daniel. I actually talked to Daniel yesterday, and we agree on something. I can see the manager get sacked because of those players. I can see it.
Yeah,
and you know why I think he should do what he should do? He should just look. I don't care if we lose the games or we don't qualify. If I see you put the system and it doesn't work for the next 5 games, you remember Sarri? I do have a little bit of respect for Sarri. He did not bend for anybody. He wanted to play one way or another. I didn't like the way Sarri played, but he made this team to play the way he.
Uncle Sarri.
It's just like Conte. It's just like Conte.
No.
Conte plays one way and he refuses to change, and that's what happened.
Exactly my point. I understand he doesn't have to. He doesn't have a squad to play the way he wants it, but you need to start applying it now.
But it's applying it with players that can only sort of play to a certain level.
It's not.
They're not consistent
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It is, because they've already showed us that they can't play.
How do you know? Because you never played a different way.
Well, how many different systems have we played under Tuchel? And now
we play 4-3-4-5-2 or
3-4-3
or 3.
Well, we play possession, keep the ball,
it's
and just
basically
hold
the
on
same
to it.
thing.
It's just different shapes, the same system.
Yes.
It's the
Well,
same
like
system.
Exactly.
Shapes are shapes.
We just bored opposition to death.
Different shapes and systems.
We
We're
bored them
struggling
to
to
death.
still get performances out of people. What is it then? Think about it. What
Alex,
can that
It's the players.
Alex,
That's
I
it, exactly.
disagree.
I agree
I
with
disagree that the players will get him sacked. I think he will get himself sacked if he continues to run out this same group of
Same thing.
guys.
Watch from different angle.
Sure. Yeah, like if he, like, to me again, if I saw that he was actually like making changes and doing stuff to like better the team, and like then he had to make a change in the 35th minute of that game. He knew he made a mistake that early. Like I could have told him that before the game started. Like
his second mistake in that was that he still, and this is where I am critical of him, is that he decides to leave the forward line on too long. He leaves on 80th minute to bring Burrow on.
I
again.
agree with you on that.
Why are you doing that?
The substitutions
you see Sterling and Aubameyang wasn't working for 60 minutes. What are you waiting for? Change it.
No, but I think Moyo
explained
explained it perfectly on yesterday's stream, because like he made the mistake with the midfield. He had to put he had to use one sub, and you can only make 5 within 3 stoppages. So
I definitely wasn't on.
He was kind of forced to make the
Yeah,
same.
he wasn't that. It wasn't him.
I don't know. I don't know.
Something against Villa.
Oh,
why did he?
My bad.
How you get a Nigerian and a Russian mixed up, Lewis?
Hey, this is. I can tell you that.
That's because he says Chukwuemeka, right?
No,
mixing them up.
that's how
Giving
you
them
get
Nigerian
yourself a player name. What's my friend's name from old Lokomotiv Moscow club? Man, what's his name? He's half Russian, half not.
Played for Chelsea or just
played for he played for West Brom. We're making fun of him because he was in a parking lot.
Odemwingie?
Ademwingie. Peter Ademwingie.
We got to make Odemwingie. What the hell are you talking about here?
He's half Russian, half Nigerian.
Is he?
Yeah.
Right, I never knew that. Never knew that. That's mad.
Lewis, have you seen they've moved the games? They've moved the games.
Yeah, the Man City game's on the 5th now, isn't
I
it?
know, 8 o'clock on a Thursday. What the fuck's that?
No,
about?
that's all right. It spaces it out a bit more. There was meant to be like 2 or 3 days gap in between that. Now it's about 4 to 5. That's a bit.
Have you
more
seen
rest.
our results in midweek
Look.
games? Like, what we've got an awful
Okay,
midweek
so-
thing,
Look,
haven't we?
the reason
Yeah,
why
we got
the reason
midweek
why
games.
I'm
FA Cup will be on
the
Sunday.
reason why I'm saying that why I want from the Harry Potter right now is the kahunas. It's for him to be like Ten Hag, because I can see Ten Hag. It didn't work in the beginning, so he put the system. It doesn't care. He doesn't pivot from that system, right?
Yeah.
He has a
and all of
Casemiro
us-
that ain't that as well. Just remember that.
I know that. That's for
Yeah.
me, like everybody knows, defensive mid. It's my most important role in the team. I agree
That's
with
his finish. That's Alex's finish.
you. It is.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
the problem is, it's not like you cannot produce some kind of level of consistency with
I
that
agree.
without him, because it's been before. It's been done before. And I'm not saying it's only on Jorginho this time, because Jorginho recycling ball decreased this season, and I think it's orders from the manager. So now I'm not only blaming Jorginho, I'm blaming the other midfielders beside him, because Jorginho is forced to play faster and forward. That means the other midfielders needs to be open and carry their duties, which is. And everybody will jump on my front, but I agree. Robin Loftus-Cheek been playing better. He's been playing better. The problem is when it's not like he's playing better for 90 minutes nonstop. Don't make mistakes. He still does make mistakes. What I'm saying is when he performs better, Jorginho doesn't perform good. So it's out of sequence. When Kovacic plays good, Robin Loftus-Cheek doesn't. Out of sequence midfield, forward doesn't get good play.
But
Those three has to play in a sequence and good every time the other midfielders play good. You can't just play one midfielder good, one forward good, and one defender good.
But don't you think, Alex, it's because we don't have really consistency in our midfield? We keep changing it all the time, so they don't have like cohesion with each other.
Exactly, and that brings my point. Just stick to what you want us to play from now on.
Play
only one way.
He's very limited with that midfield. Obviously, Kovacic is carrying an knee injury playing games, apparently.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim. I have a
No, I'm just saying, when you look at how like weak we are in midfield, right? Jorginho, Kante's not available, is forgetting, but you've got Jorginho and you've got Ruben and you've got Kovacic, right? We can't play Conor Gallagher there. We can't play Mason Mount there. We've already seen it. It's horrible. Yeah. So you've got a half-fit Kovacic whose knees pretty much, he's not able to start games. But when you've looked at Kovacic's performances this season, I actually think he's been quite inconsistent. He's been like bad, good, bad. That kind of makes sense with his knee injury, doesn't it? So if you're only got Ruben and Jorginho, that and in what you're saying about playing it consistently, playing the same two consistently, then maybe we have to stick with that. I just don't think that they've got it in them to do that. I don't think it's the right mix in the midfield. I think the chemistry's not there. Even if we continuously play them back to back to back to back to back, I don't think Ruben and Jorginho is the right way forward, personally.
But you know what my biggest issue with Potter for me is when he came in, and for me he does things very similar to Tuchel, and he's going on the same pattern. He's not doing enough changes for me. You need to change something in this team.
So
I think that the changes he's making
the changes. I think he has idea in the game change. I don't think he has credibility for the long game.
I think he has a system. I think he wants to do something. What I think he's doing at the moment, again, which is kind of what Tuchel was doing, is accommodating accommodating the players into a system for now. I think he knows that he wants to, and I agree with Alex. I know he wants to play the system fully how he wants to play it. But if you feel that you haven't got the certain specific profile players to do it, you're going to kind of accommodate a player in there for now, aren't you? Just to get through. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's what Tuchel's doing at the moment. So the same sort of thing as Tuchel.
Personally, for me, I'm allowing him to make mistakes. I think when we signed him,
you're so kind.
No. Like, we have to be willing to allow him to make these mistakes. Like, we have to still criticize, and we have to look at things critically and say, this is where he's mistaken. This is where he made the wrong move. But I think it's so early. And for me, I'm not really going to start looking at it as closely until like the end of the season. And I'm going to look at that trajectory to see where have we made improvement? What kind of decisions has he made?
Yeah.
What? No,
if he's,
yeah.
if he's trying, right? If he's trying, we see that he's trying different things and they fail, but we know that the things are coming. Then I have no issue with it. But from what I'm seeing is he's failing. Like we're having the same result and he's not changing anything. That's what bothers me. It gives me like kind of a deja vu with Tuchel towards the end. You know what I mean?
And this is what I said. If you watch Brentford, he seriously reminds me of Tuchel, especially.
Yeah,
early
that pissed
age.
me off of that Brentford game. He should have made like
Look,
completely different.
look. It's not. When I was saying, and you jump on my throat and saying that you too negative for 3-0 win, I know, Jim, you weren't there, but I saw the similarities. There was not good consistency of those 3-0 wins. It's like we winning that when we undefeated under Tuchel. There is a certain games, 3 or 4 games in a row, we won 1-0 or 2-0, but our performances are just horrendous. We got outplayed by Aston Villa last game. We got outplayed by Brentford. And that's not that. Like, look, why I like the game that Man United game has opened my eyes so much about, especially Ten Hag, how tactically he's brilliant. It's not even funny. Like the way he implied in the game changes, that counter-attacking Kovacic substitution without even make substitution. I agree that the single 6 is the reason why I love the most. Probably, if you have a world-class player in this position, you can change that within the game. For example, look, when Kovacic came, we had 3 dominant midfielders in this midfield, in Chelsea midfield. The game started to level up between Manchester United. Do you know what he did? He actually left Casemiro by himself and say, now you're not going to be double pivot. What you're going to do is he's going to put Eriksen and another midfielder closer to Jorginho and spread it with Kovacic and thing. He didn't do substitution, but he already leveled back. All of a sudden, Man United again start to get more possession of the ball and more counterattack. If they had the better forwards, if they had Auba in their team yesterday, he scored a hat-trick, man, of those. They're lacking a goal scorer, but they are destroying us in the middle. There was a moments when we are good, but there was a moment. You have to be on consistency. I'm not saying Man United. I don't see Man United is that good, but I can see what he's trying to imply. That's it.
Just before we go, Cameron says love Mount, but can we really say he's a generational talent? Players like him and Havertz have been in the Prem for so long, but no improvement, bro. And Johnny's my guy, so I'm just gonna say it. But anyone who calls Mount and Havertz generational talents,
it's generationally retarded, man. That's what they are.
The only thing about them is that they turn up once in a generation, and that's it. Big up Felix saying, I agree with Alex. If Potter doesn't do that, he will get sacked. But his style is to change approach for every game. We need to give him power and gen. Yeah, I don't think we can truly make a judgment on Potter until the players come in, but and we can assess how we've moved over the last few years.
But no manager is going to get the 11 that he wants, though, Lewis. It will never happen where he have the exact 11 that he wants.
I think at least after a couple
let me give you a scenario. If Chelsea does not play good with what he's trying to twinkle to keep it, let's say that he's not playing the system he wants right now because he doesn't have players, right? This is what you're telling me, right?
Yeah.
God forbid we don't get top 4. And he still gets a couple of players in January. And he has, players in the summer, right? For the next season, he has those players needs to be kick in and get us a specific position of the table. Because that's going to be the second full year, pretty much. And then if he doesn't perform with his own players by the next year, that's when you're going to be sucking him. He's not going to get sucked this season no matter what happens. I promise you. So but the second season, you're going to put too much pressure on the guy because you didn't put the pressure enough this season. If you didn't start to apply the way you want to play from this season, and you can identify actually who's good in your team right now that actually can play for you under the way you want to play for the next season. Because if you don't play the system you want now, how are you going to identify which players can play that system next season? Are you going to buy all 11?
No, but I think he I do think he'll probably have an idea, to be honest. I think even Bowley, I think even the owner.
Let's hope he has idea.
Yeah, but then again, like, I agree with what you're saying. I do think that we're very easy. I'm talking about our midfield specifically here, forgetting the forward for a second. But I do think we're very easy to play against. Once you can, like you said, once you can kind of, and like a Man United, know how to stop our midfield, which I don't think is actually that hard, to be honest. I'll be with you. And the reason I say that is because I just think that we're too, like, you look at the ability of the players in midfield, I think they're actually quite limited. I think Kovacic is quite versatile to a degree in the way he plays. But you look at a Jorginho with a bit of a press, I think he struggles personally. You know, like, he's very limited in the way that he can play. And I think not having enough versatile players that can adapt, not only to like 2 or 3 systems, but even in the game, you know, it makes it, I think it makes it very hard to kind of see what any manager wants to do at the moment. And then you've got your problem with your forward line and the chemistry, which I've spoken about, you know, where for me, they're all chalk and cheese. You know, we have no creators there. We have one real creator there, one that in Mason Mount that does it on and off in theory. And I've always said with Mason Mount, I always think he's like the jack of all trades, but he's not the master of anything. If you think about it, like, he can do a bit of everything. He's just not got the ability to be really good at one thing, is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? From what I've seen, but doesn't mean he's a bad player. I just think he can add something. And the others, you know, Sterling and that, who we bought in, who's a dribbler, who ain't dribbling. Sterling's pissed me off the last couple of games anyway, to be honest, in what I've seen of him.
Can you put...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jim, sorry.
Even in the Man United game, where, all right, he hasn't scored against them, he's got this horrible record, this, that, and the other, and we know that we struggle to create for the forward line, and I do sympathise with him still on that, and I knew this was going to be the case to a degree. But even when they did find the ball, and they were given the ball into the final third, it was how wasteful they were with the ball and the decision making and not taking players on. And, you know, that is for me a problem of the player at that point. So it's a bit of both for me. It's a problem of the player not being able to do some of the basics, like Alex said earlier, and also just the balance of the system and what we're trying to do. It just doesn't, we just never look balanced. I don't enjoy watching Chelsea. I haven't enjoyed watching Chelsea for years. Don't like watching them. It's not good to watch.
Look, can you put a Chelsea Babalao comment for me, please?
Where is it? I'm saying Potter is.
Man said 4-4-3. Man wants an extra player on the pitch.
I was trying to figure out where's the goalkeeper. We're playing with open goals.
I think he was being sarcastic.
I think he means 4-3-3.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, 4-4-3. Yeah, the bowling one, the bowling one. Yeah, I remember.
Lads, who we get
It's
as a next manager?
4-3-3. It's not.
Ooh, Klopp would be nice, man. The way he's going at Liverpool, you know, I wouldn't mind Klopp.
I don't
Would you mind Klopp?
He's a little bit.
No, I like Klopp, but it's short-term job again because
7 years is short term, man. 7 years is good for me, man. For Chelsea, that's long term, bro.
That's very long term.
That's a retirement time, man. That's like,
hey, let's be real. He'd be here like 7 months.
yeah, with Chelsea, it's dog years, bro. every year.
Oh, Babalao said he's being sarcastic. Never mind.
Okay, cool. No worries.
It's like people didn't get it when I said
ABD one.
ABD's like, how do you not know that joke, man? That's
I've
like
never
really
heard
known joke, man.
What's the
Genuinely
joke?
never heard it.
I said like JCam, like I know you know your ABDs, and they thought that I was
Yeah, I've heard you
wrong,
say
but
that before. I'm like, does he understand the
No,
order of
maybe-
the alphabet?
it's called.
Did you guys see that we are linked with the DM from Leipzig?
Want to call person
Yeah, Conrad
stupid?
Lima.
Yeah.
Hey, get him in. He'll be the best DM in the world.
Which one?
Conrad
And I-
Lima from Leipzig.
Is that another sarcastic comment?
Is
Right?
he that good?
No, he's good. We can
All I know
stand.
is fine. We're
I don't
interested
From
in
what
him.
I've read,
And
he
he can
looks
play
good.
right back. Oh, fuck,
Did
no.
we play him?
He's
No.
decent. What?
No,
He's
it's
actually pretty good.
Leipzig.
Oh, it's a different.
Yeah, from
team.
what I've read, he looks good. Like,
Leipzig,
I'd be
yeah.
all for it, really.
You wouldn't take him, Scott.
No, Moyo asked like was that a sarcasm? Like, I've never seen this dude play. Like, I'll be real. I just
Okay.
people did like I haven't got a clue if this guy's good or not. All I know is Bayern we're interested in him.
Yeah,
He's
from
coming
my
somewhere.
research, he can play DM and centre mid, aggressive, high volume.
Yeah, I think he's a good player. Man.
Not
I
what I
I
want
do,
him
I
to.
do like the
Not
I
what
do
I
like
want
the
him
player
to. He
from.
can play right back as well.
I do know this. What's his name? The guy from Napoli plays in the pivot.
Who?
I forgot his name.
Lobotka, Zelensky.
No, the
No,
Spanish one.
Zelensky is
Fabian
No, I don't
Ruiz.
want Zelensky.
Fabian Ruiz?
Zelensky is
Fabian
the
Ruiz
not
doesn't play
player.
Yeah, he
Fabian
might have
Villa.
PSG.
He's a football player now, man. Oh my days, man.
I knew you were
Zambo
gonna
and
trigger
Issa,
guy.
as I say, like they got a few midfielders, but like
No. The deepest one that stays. I think He was pretty
Cool.
solid.
Anguissa?
Yes. That's
Yeah.
the guy.
He's
Oh,
good.
when he used to play for Fulham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard he was but looks pretty decent that game. So I don't know.
Why didn't we go for Casemiro, man, when we had the chance, man?
Oh, people saying it was
We
too.
didn't have
He
a
was too
chance.
old.
We didn't
He
have.
Why
was
did we have a
too
chance?
old.
We literally
hold
went
on.
Because
People
we
said
did.
that
We just
he
chose
doesn't
not
have
to even
nothing to.
bother.
People said he doesn't have nothing to come to play for. He's
We,
come to
there
collect
was
the
said
still
cash.
that?
there was still
Who
a
said
good
that?
DM to get
Remove you
anyway.
from your camera.
Me?
Yes.
When did find the stream?
Wait.
When did I ever say I didn't want
Oh
Casemiro?
no,
all the
that's
people you
that's
picked
Ronaldo.
out.
Wait,
That's
but that's
Ronaldo.
there.
I was
there
gonna
we
say, what
still
people
there
you
was
picked out?
good
Lewis
DMs
That's
out
That
there
is
anyway.
waffle.
Lewis is calling for Casemiro
That is
alone.
actually a lie. I was like, how the fuck have United got a free run at Casemiro and no one's gone in for it?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're right.
Yeah, but
I was
there
about.
there
It was
was other
argument
DMs
about.
out there.
about
Was it a
Even
free
never-
one,
you never
or was
said
Casemiro
that.
never going to
Must
leave
have
for
been
anyone
someone.
else? Was it a
Nothing.
free
Nah,
one? I don't
if
think
we
there's.
offered him, he would have come. I think he just wanted to come to the Premier League, and United went first. That's it. I don't think he was a
only
United
one.
fan all his life.
Would
or
we have
whatever
Yeah, I
offered
think as
him?
well.
Would we have
Chelsea
offered him?
Balboa.
I think-
I understand why. What's his name? Tuchel did not want a midfielder because I actually, like I said, I think Tuchel liked Jorginho. He liked the style of recycling game.
Yeah,
That's the
He
style
liked-
Tuchel liked.
bored other team to death until
No.
they
That's
don't want
it.
to play anymore. Right?
That what it actually makes sense. Tuchel likes the recycling. That's why he always opened to the better striking system because he wanted individual strikers to be great. The moments that we created, you know why we misunderstood, like most of us misunderstood Tuchel, that think that he liked the way we played up to the point of the top of this final third. Yeah, the final third, he wanted to be players that can actually finish out of first time or create enough for
Do
themselves.
on their own.
I also think
Yeah,
do
dribble.
their own things. I'm not
Yeah, he
saying
wanted
that I
good
agree with
dribblers,
it.
man.
The way yes, because if you think about it, we got ourselves to a position where we considered ourselves as how you say it, possession-based
Possession
team.
team.
Yeah,
correct.
remember when we used to use that word a lot? Oh, we Chelsea, we're possession-based team. We need this. That's what kind of things he wanted. He just didn't finish the job.
I think
It's
as
slow.
well,
I
if-
don't like it. I'm not saying I like it. It's slow. It's involved. Jorginho is still keeping it. But the problem is that's how he wanted. He's gone. Let's forget about it.
I can't lie. I think it's even more simpler than that. Like for me, I think, and this isn't me defending him. This is me getting him for his short-sightedness. I think if the thing is, if everyone's fit, I think he's right in terms of we don't need a midfielder. But it's short-sightedness not seeing that
Yeah,
at
we
least
don't have
two
enough
of our
options.
midfielders are injury-prone, so they're going
Yeah.
to get injured, and you're going to be short. So like, if everyone's fit, we'd have had 5 midfielders of who he was playing in the midfield, maybe even 6 if you look at maybe a Carney or a Mount if he puts him in there. That's enough with how he was
That's
playing.
what I said.
But
He said
it's
that
not
he would-
enough with what we know about Kante and Kovacic and the fact that
Did
Jorginho
any of you?
every game.
Jem, take
Like-
care, my guy. Big up.
Like,
No,
not-
Take care,
it-
Jim. Take
This
care.
is what I
buddy.
said.
Big up,
He-
Jim.
He's looking short-sighted and being like, "We've got enough for what we need," but not realizing that long term, 2 of these guys are going to get injured.
I have a good question
Exactly.
for you guys. I have a good question for you guys. Do you guys think teams don't take us seriously in the midfield and in the attack?
It's not a question. It's a fact. I don't.
I would say
I
so.
think-
For sure in the
I think
midfield.
when they see us in the midfield in the final third, no team takes us seriously. If you look even at how teams defend against us and how they defend against City and
Yeah, but
Liverpool, man, it's
I
a
think that's-
night and
I
day,
think
man.
that's the case with a lot of teams, though. Like, apart from City and maybe to an extent Arsenal, like, what other teams do people look at their front line or their midfield and take seriously until they
How
have
many
to?
times? How many times do you see our players being marked though?
No, but my point
But
is, no.
that's
The thing is with like players like let's look at Liverpool, for example, when they had their great team, and when like the front three was like on point, is defenders have to act a certain way because they've always got that thought in the back of their mind of I can't press up too high, I can't get too tight because I'll get spun and these players will get in, and it's you have to almost show a level.
Didn't
of
we have that?
respect.
But didn't we have
But
that
that
fear
takes
factor
most
when we had
teams.
Hazard though, Scott? When we had Hazard, you remember how many times like all the defenders would go on him, and we
Yeah, but
don't have
that's
that.
the point. No, but again, a lot of teams don't have that, and I agree that our attack and midfield isn't the best. But for me, we need to get to that stage. But it's
And you know why it's so critical. You know why it's so critical for me.
But I think a lot of
Kai,
players.
I think
teams
you're
struggle.
misunderstanding
Alex,
simple
let me
things.
just say
Go
this,
ahead.
to explain myself better. Yeah, I think we are missing that one player, like for example, a Hazard or a Liao, that can stretch defense. That all the defenders, when you had the ball, go on him, so then we can pass to someone else and they can do
It's
something.
more than one
Right
player.
now, we don't have
We're-
that. Therefore, people they don't really defend
Winter
against us.
Surfer comment is
it's
actually the
more-
right answer to
Like
the
they know,
comment.
they know. Once it gets to Mount or Havertz, they're gonna pass it backwards.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
That's
with
They
that.
know
I agree.
nobody's
I will
gonna try to
say
do
this,
anything.
this
for them,
idea
man.
that we need a Hazard or a Leao type player and we're sorted.
No.
That's not true.
No,
That's
I don't think
not
so. I still think we need a midfielder though, but we do need
No,
that
no,
player.
yeah, but no. But my
team.
point is, you can't just get one player and it be one player fixes everything. This is what people don't in our fan base.
Yeah,
don't seem to
obviously, Scott. I
understand.
agree
It's
with
like,
you, bro.
We need players that are going to fit a system that means the system will work. That's how football is now.
That's my point. What's the system?
I think I get an idea what the system is, but the problem is it's the same players. We've had the same players. Some of these guys.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Scott? It's the same system.
No.
No, I say it's the same players. As in,
Metallica song.
no matter what system you want to execute, these same players are still here. I think it's similar to what Tuchel wanted to implement in terms of it being very possession based. It's just quicker, and you have the ability to be more direct.
Okay. Let me tell you what I think, and it's two stages that Chelsea can improve and go for the title challenge if they do those stages. For me, of course, I'm not even gonna talk about the defensive midfield, because if a defensive midfield we need the big player. That's a lot of money. So I will pass that for a minute. Just remember that's most important for me. I'm just going forward. I want the player that have resemblance of Juan Mata or Oscar, the one that can actually spread the ball in the middle, like type of Kevin De Bruyne. I don't want him to run like Kevin De Bruyne from the deep into the. I want our deep midfielders to pass it to him. I want player like Modric. I want player like Juan Mata. I want player like De Bruyne. I don't want
Madison. Madison.
Madison. Yeah, Madison.
I would like Madison. I think you go to Chelsea.
Could hold the ball, could use the touch to beat the player and use another two to pass it to the player. That kind of player will improve us immediately. Even with double pivot we're playing right now, it will improve us. You know why it will improve us? Because we're not going to be predictable. And to answer your question is, when we play and you're saying that we are predictable and nobody's rate us, it's not that. Every team, do you think like when you're playing like midfield against midfield, it's man marking. It's not like they don't respect us or they just know that we're gonna fold. It's just basic game. The other team is marking.
I think you guys don't understand what I'm trying to say. Like for example, when teams play big teams, yeah, they see like they have like one superstar on the ball, and once they have that, like for example, when De Bruyne have the ball, right? Like you see how the players around him who are marking him or defending or trying to press, they all get nervous. They all try.
De Jong is that player too.
We don't have that at Chelsea. That's what. But I'm not saying it. I'm saying it just in general. When we play other teams, I feel like the players, they allow our players to have the ball because they know they're not going to do anything with it. And I don't know if we became predictable or if we don't have the. Yeah.
Like they know where it's going to go.
And, but isn't that an issue on its own, though, Scott?
This kind of lends to what you were saying yesterday about or what we've been saying in yesterday in previous streams about the standards. But I'm at the stage where I just want attackers who are not safe, who can keep hold of the ball, have good ball retention, because that's so much of the issues that we have in terms of midfield. There's loads, but one of the big issues in terms of the fact we always get hit with transitions comes from the fact, a lot of the time, that our forward line can't keep hold of the ball. They just can't keep it under pressure, and so they lose it all the time. And so then it just goes back against our midfield.
It's not only that. I'm not gonna put the pressure only on the forwards. If like I said, if you're a defender, if you're a forward, and you have the ball that does not zip to you but roll into you, that's a two jobs thing you need to do. You need to try to get to the ball. You need to control to the ball, and you need to what's the name? Beat the defender behind you. If you pass it, you need to pass it to him like a zip pass. That means that if I'm taking a touch with one touch, I decide either I'm touching and take it away from the defender, or I'm touching it to control the ball. You do not do this. The passes that go to our forward lines, either rainbow balls or the barely reaching. So my point is exactly, like I said, I'm going back to what Tuchel. I had problems with Tuchel. It's the way the ball transition from midfield to forward. I'm not gonna criticize a forward based on what donkeys we have in the midfield. That's it.
I would even step back from the attack from a second. When you're talking about fear
there's
factor,
nothing with attack.
For me, the lack of fear factor for me is in the midfield.
Because we
opponent midfields look at our midfield and they say, "Oh, Jorginho's playing today. I'm going to run over this midfield." That's where the battle is won. That's where we lack the fear factor, honestly. And like Alex is saying, we're not zipping the ball to our attackers quickly enough. They just pass it between each other. They'll let us sit there. They'll sit there and let us do that all game. If I'm playing a game and I'm watching these two people pass amongst each other, it's not causing a threat to me. It makes me more comfortable.
I'm not gonna even. I know I'm gonna bring the bad thing. Odegaard yesterday against Southampton. Remember that assist that what's his name should have put it out when they played 1-2 and he flipped it over for the middle over the ball. It chipped the ball over to what's his name to Jesus, and he missed it. We don't have that kind of. You know who would help us? The guy that went to Manchester United from Inter used to be at Tottenham Hotspur. What's his name?
Ericsson.
Ericsson.
Oh, Ericsson.
Remember remember how he passes the ball. Remember how he passes.
Yeah, he zips it.
That's the kind of player we need. We need the passer.
Yeah, but not now. Not now.
Kovacic
It's hard as
does
a
do
bro. We
sometimes,
don't
but he
need him
doesn't do it a
now.
whole lot. Like, I
I
think
would've-
even with Brozier this
Yeah,
season,
but
Kovacic does ping the ball forward, and Brozier almost got it, but like obviously,
We
they
need
did
more
the
of that. We need
That's
more
my,
of that.
that's my
I will say as well,
point.
like I think going back to Moyo's point, I think you can go further with this though, because like on this point of with the attackers, it's like it becomes easy for the defenders to mark attackers when they've got no backup, when they've got no help from the fullbacks. Like that's what we saw against United. The fullbacks offered no support, so the forwards then get isolated, especially the wingers.
Yeah.
So they get either 1v1 and it's easy to defend, or it's 2v1 in certain areas. It's so easy to defend.
Which of our players can
and then-
1v1? Which of our players are good at
The
V1v1?
only
Like
one
actual
is
dribble.
No,
Pulisic.
no,
He can
Pulisic,
make
Pulisic,
it.
the whole
There's no
point,
one
no,
like
the
think
whole
Sterling
point
can.
is
One
you
at a
shouldn't
time,
have to be
guys.
doing. You
And
shouldn't have to
Sterling,
be doing 1v1 all the time. The whole point of like you do overloads. That's the whole
Yeah,
point.
but,
Is you get
but Scott,
in areas
even
where
when
you
they
do
do get in that
overloads.
position, they lose the ball though. That's my
No,
biggest
that's
issue with
fine,
our
but
front line.
no, but you have to put it doesn't matter, bro. Like you see this with
Come
like
on.
no disrespect. You see this with teams like Brentford, fam, and like no disrespect to Brentford, but you would think that the players they've got are worse than what we've got, theoretically speaking,
Look,
on paper.
They
But it's
don't.
like
But is
they've got,
but
they've got guys who I'm not going to sit here and say for a second that like Rico Henry is a better left back than what we've got. But you see
Yeah,
what he
exactly.
does in attacking areas is he helps out in attacking areas to the point where they can play triangles or they can overload on certain sides.
But-
So then it creates space for other players, and we didn't have that, and it
But
hasn't happened, and it comes from when you have rigid fullbacks. And that exacerbates. And it's like I said yesterday, we have problems all over the pitch, and each one exacerbates another problem. We don't have
Yeah.
a fix for like. Say we get a number 6 in, it still doesn't fix our whole
Well,
team
no.
problem because we're still going to have issues in attack if we have fullbacks that don't support, if they're too rigid. And in the same way, we can get fullbacks that are like flexible and help in attack, but it just means if we lose the ball in transition because our midfield is arse, we're fucked. Because in transition, we're going to have so many gaps. Again, all of these problems exacerbate each other.
I can make,
all of these
I can
problems
make it
exacerbate
easier.
each other.
I can make it easier. If we have a possession of the ball, watch of the players in the midfield that we have, you will want to be outside the goalkeeper box, like in the center, in the middle. Which player, if we attacking, which player would you prefer to be in the range of outside of the box in the middle? What player Chelsea have that you will, how you say it,
Trust to
trust,
something.
confidence? Yes, outside the penalty box, outside the box, like the little circle in that position.
Maybe Mount.
Right now,
That's it.
No.
Mount
no.
will at least
not even
Mount
Mount.
will at
Like,
least
Mount,
try and
Sterling's
shoot.
not been good enough.
That's the
Fully
point.
good.
I'm not asking about shoot. I'm asking
He's asking about creating from there, man.
creating from that position.
Oh,
That's not
defense-
Mountain. That's what I said. No. man.
Defense is set for to defending. It's like complete press in the box. By defending out of less ditch.
yeah. We don't have anyone. Kovacic
my
is the only
point.
player I think
Exactly.
of. Even
I think
him, he's
Gallagher.
not
I think
consistent.
Gallagher can pass it to like put the ball onto the header, but I don't think he's even option because he cannot do. He's too young to play for Chelsea game after game. He has the talent, but he's not the one.
I don't know.
So
I also
I'm
don't think
asking
Gallagher can
Watch
do it.
or, or
saying
people in the
Gallagher.
chat. Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. Gallagher is better when he has a little bit more space. He comes alive in the final third, but if he has to like beat a deep
No, 'cause
block, I
Wolves,
don't
he
know if
didn't
he
get-
has
I
that
don't
kind
know.
of creativity.
But that's our issue, though, Mike.
actually
We don't-
did.
Wolves didn't get space though.
He
We don't
actually
get space
did
because
couple
we're
of times. He did couple of
supposedly a big
times when
team.
he came in as a
No,
sub.
and then he
He
played
chipped
well.
the ball
Okay. Yeah.
into the goal, into the headers, and even Kai missed it. And what's his name? Ziyech didn't hit
Oh yeah,
it
you
with
know,
his foot. Missed
Pulisic
it.
maybe can do that too.
Yeah, Pulisic can do that too. But Pulisic, you want Pulisic in that position?
No,
or
you do
want
not.
Pulisic
You
on
want-
the left?
Yeah, you want him in the left. You even want
Yes.
him running in to poach. That's where you want him. in
That's
those
what
kinds
I'm
of
trying to say.
situations. Yeah.
You need
Yeah,
Chelsea need the player that actually can
Like Fabregas.
make
You know what I'm? Is it like Fabregas? you mean?
Fabregas. Yes,
De
I agree.
Bruyne.
But
Yeah.
let's not say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
So
tell
De Jong
you.
then. De Jong would be perfect for us, man. That's
Perfect.
what I'm saying.
Perfect. We didn't get it. But look, another thing.
Yeah.
Who do we have at Chelsea that has the ability of carrying the ball like a monster through the middle, like De Bruyne, but does not have a passing and range and the passing accuracy in the final third?
We don't have that.
That's Ruben. I mean, Ruben's capable of carrying the ball. It's just
Yeah, but he doesn't have the
most
passing
people would
that he needs,
complain that he lacks like sort of that final ball, but some of that too, I think, is just a lack of him not wanting to turn the ball over.
But Josh,
What
do you
we're in
think he has
possession,
that?
but
It's a Kova
Yeah.
actually
Kova
better.
can dribble, but he's dead in the final third. He stinks in the final third.
Yes, that's
Yep.
what I'm saying. We have everything, but that particular moment was the
third,
most
yeah.
important, the most crucial moment. It's to decide to pass it, shoot, or that.
Get Fabregas back, man.
Is he still
You see
playing?
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
he's
that's-
at Como.
Let's get him back here.
You know how you can
No,
how important it is to have a world-class six in this kind of situation. You can
Yeah.
leave one person midfield behind, and you can put two midfielders outside of that box. Not like one. We don't have one, but a
Yeah.
good team can have two. If you have a really good midfielder, he can stay outside and protect the back line, and you can put another one in that position. And you have
This
two
is what I
players
was.
from
This
the
is what I
midfield.
was thinking when Scott was talking.
Yeah,
Even
but-
with a six, with a
See what
power
I'm
six,
saying?
it does
Like
much
how-
more.
how
Even if
much-
you don't have the competent fullbacks, think of how much more a competent
Exactly.
six who can sit and give that freedom to more players to be creative, to try things and
I
fail.
have a
be
question for you
okay
guys.
with that.
Hang on. For that six, do you know why that doesn't hold true? Go and look at what Liverpool are doing with a proper six.
I don't
right
want
now.
no.
Who
He's
are
been
playing-
quite awful this
who,
season.
who people are saying needs to be dropped for Henderson because he's been that bad. Like, go and look at what's happened at times with City when they've got their proper six in Rodri, but they don't have the players in other areas that can support. Getting a six will improve us, no doubt. But people need to stop acting like getting a six fixes everything.
First of all,
everything.
I don't think
Hold
main
on a
area
second.
we
I don't think it'll
Hold on a
fix
second.
everything.
Stop lying.
but-
That's a
we
corner
get a
kick.
six, fine, but getting a six does not fix everything. It will not
Scott.
fix it. We'll see a slight improvement, but it will be the same way when we got Sterling. We saw a slight improvement, and Aubameyang, we saw a slight improvement in
Scott,
attacking areas. But it
That
didn't fix
moment,
the systemic problem.
when they scored, that came from the corner.
No.
No,
Haka's not.
accident,
That's-
my
yeah.
bad.
That
Stop
was
it, Lewis,
coming
stop it,
from
bro.
the corners.
That weren't me.
So the goalkeeper, what's his name? Shouldn't be by himself in the first place. You can use that as your defense for a single six.
No, I'm talking about how Fabinho has been this season. If you're talking about Fabinho, I'm talking about how he's been this season.
Oh,
Like this
Fabinho
season,
this
he's
season.
been poor. He's been poor. And
Yes.
again, this is because, again, with the Liverpool thing, they've got the six that helps them defensively and stuff like that. But again, they have a system problem. They're like,
It's because
this is
of
the
a
thing is
system team.
we are a system team. We get a six, it will improve us. People don't mistake what I'm saying. It
That's
will
what I'm
improve
trying
us, but it will. People are acting,
I'm
and people are
saying-
saying it's going to improve us, where it's going to fix us. It's not.
I don't
will
think it's going to
improve
fix
us.
us.
I
It'll
don't-
improve us
improve us.
attacking.
That's not what I said. I'm not saying. The reason why I was trying to put the 6 as the, like, if you have a world class, like I can believe I'm using that teenage sentence, world class. If you have capable 6 that can be left alone in the attacking sense, like you can go and I'll sit and protect. If you will have that, it will give us advantage. I'm not saying
it's going to fix all our problems.
Yes, it won't fix our problems. I'm saying if you allow that, that means that the fullbacks does not need to be pushing so high. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, I think that's the goal in January, is to try to get a DM in, like a sitting DM.
I have a question. I have a question before you guys go. Do any of you guys know if Nkunku's coming for January or
it'll probably be summer? It'll probably be summer.
They're trying to see if they can add more money to the deal to get him in January, but I don't know that will happen.
If he even signs in January, he'll go straight back as probably some sort of agreement. I'd be very surprised if they let him go halfway through the season. He's their most important player.
Because he's
how much more money that they offer.
I wouldn't mind having him. At least until we can solve the midfield. If we can get Nkunku and a midfielder like in January and maybe a backup right back, I think we can actually fight for top 4. Because right now, I gotta be honest, man, I don't know how we're gonna finish top 4.
Yeah, in top 4 anyway. Like let's.
I don't know. Listen, all this complaining that we're doing, we're literally 3 or 4.
No, I'm not complaining, Scott. I'm just
saying. We're unbeaten in 8 games. We haven't lost.
Yeah, but Kai, Liverpool was worse than us. Like Liverpool are worse than us. Tottenham are being worse than us.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm not really calculating Liverpool for the top 4, man.
Oh, exactly. But who's going to get top 4 then? You obviously got
Man City. Top 4 is going to be between 4 teams.
Yeah,
top 4 is going to be between 4 teams.
I was going to say I can basically lock down who's going to be in top 4. I just can't work out where they're going to finish.
Yeah.
So you think we're going to be in the top 4? Even though United are looking better than us.
It's us.
United doesn't look better
than us. United are not better than us.
It's 4 or 5. It's us, Arsenal, City, and then one of Liverpool and United. I just can't lock down. Apart from City finishing first, where everyone else finishes. Like I think Arsenal will finish second.
Making top 4.
I don't know. I don't
see Tottenham doing it. I don't think Newcastle will sustain the rest of the season. It's not going to be whoever else is near the top. I can't remember who else.
Conte's got 1 foot out the door at Spurs, so that's already going to start to be an issue in January.
It's looking really bad for him right now. Yeah, Conte.
Spurs fucking suck. They play dead
exactly.
football. I was going to say, what happened to them? They went down 2-0, and they still just tried to play counterattacking the whole game. Like they don't have it in them to do anything else.
It was attractive. People said that he was playing really good at Chelsea first year, man. I mean, they're boring games, man.
I mean, they are above us. Yeah, let's just be a little bit objective. Yeah, they are above us.
We are going hand. We are game in hand.
We don't have a game in hand.
We have a game in hand.
5 people talking. Let's try and lower it down to 1 at a time. Who was going?
Kai's just upset. His favorite 3 players all play for Spurs. He's going to be upset when they're not in the top 4.
That's a low blow, bro. Come on, man. You know that's not true, man. My favorite player is Mason Mount, bro. Minerals, 2 goals and 2 assists in 13 games, man. That's my favorite player, bro.
Let me bring somebody. Texas Blue 24. Alex thinks a proper DM will turn Mount, Havertz, Pulisic into prime Ronaldo, Messi, and Zidane. If you take this from what I'm saying, read the book, man.
Felix is concerned about Alvarez. He's been shocking in the UCL. He has, but I don't want to judge a player off 1 or 2 games specifically. I haven't seen enough of him in general to make that sort of assessment.
Yeah.
If Potter wants him, then who cares?
That's the thing. Like, I'll read what the player's good at. I'll have a look at him for a little bit.
He could want a dude from League 2 and like, cool. If he sees something,
Ajax in general,
price, then whatever. Like, I have my opinion on it, but if the manager wants it,
fight for top 4, Shaq.
What?
Yeah, but
I'm just answering person in the chat.
People are judging like how players perform based on like recent games in a different team, man. Ajax also played teams who are better than them as well, man. So I think it's unfair to judge a player based on like only the Champions League. Yeah,
I think
from what I've read through the Ajax subreddit, they're all saying their manager's dog shit and they need to get rid of him as soon as possible.
Another thing people forget: the kid actually wanted to leave and he was disappointed. I don't think like it's like Kane.
Yeah,
remember
morale,
Remember,
Yeah,
he
morale.
didn't want. He didn't get his move to City. All of a sudden, he couldn't score. That could be part of this. But as far as I'm
said we were going to come in
people.
January.
As
So
far
he's
as I'm
could easily
concerned, as far as I saw it, I wasn't impressed with the guy. But there's a lot of factors could be. So if we go look, if we get in a defensive midfield out of what we have, I'm okay with anybody at this point.
Exactly. Like, and at the end of the day as well, like I said yesterday, like Potter's the one who's got to bring him in the team, implement in the team. I think actually Lewis said this, like it's Potter's job to show us why he signed that player, what he is going to get out of him. Like it's his job to convince us. Like if you're not convinced about the player, that's fine, but that's the manager's job to then convince you that this guy was worth it. And he's going
then he has to carry the responsibility, though, doesn't he? Then he has to carry the responsibility. We can't just say, "Oh, yeah," just like Tuchel, he doesn't have his players. He has to
the
carry
game against Manchester United.
No one said that Tuchel never had his players like after this season. We said it after last season when you can quite clearly tell he wasn't backed. But like after this season, when with Tuchel, no one complained that he hadn't got his players. He did, and it didn't work.
I want to switch it a little bit. Are we going to talk about our left side of defense? Is anyone confident with our left back, left wing back, left center back situation?
I am once Cucurella start playing as a left back, as not a center
yes,
back.
it depends. It depends. If Chilwell and Cucurella are playing together, no. If I'm almost at the stage where if Chilwell's playing full stop, then no, because again, like I spoke earlier, in terms of problems exacerbating problems, he is. I don't know what it is at the moment, and people can use the injury. Fair enough if you want to do that. Like, I'm past giving a fuck. But like he just looks so rigid. He just looks so afraid to. It used to be he would be afraid to pass the ball forward. Now it looks like he's afraid to even just go forward. Like he looks like he's afraid to overlap, to do anything a fullback should be able to do with any vim, with any like just confidence. He looks completely devoid of confidence.
My question is more.
Lewis, can you put shock comment, second comment up? Can you put? He looks fucking lost because he literally both of him and Chilwell.
I don't think it has anything to do with Chilwell.
No,
I don't think it has anything to do with Chilwell.
I think it's back three.
No, he had tonsillitis, and like Graham Potter said, that's why he's happy taking him in our games like that. It probably explains why he's dipped off the last game or two. I'm not too worried
because of what.
He needs to play left back. He doesn't need to play center back, man.
This is the thing. This is the thing for me with Cucurella, right? He has been bad, and I will not say he hasn't. I want to see how he does when he's either playing left centre back and has a winger at left wing back in front of him, like he did against Salzburg, and I think in another game because it worked, or when he's actually playing as left back / left wing back. Because all the games I'm seeing him recently, which he's struggling in, most of the ones I'm seeing,
I don't want him to be
left centre back in a back four.
Left centre back, I'm done with it.
He either played left centre back in a back four against, was it Villa or whoever the fuck it was, I can't remember. Or he's playing left centre back with Chilwell in front of him. And I said it before, they just want to occupy the same spaces and it looks horrible.
I just don't see him as a left
centre
back.
Has been bad. I would just like to see him in the same way that I have to, like people talked about Pulisic and wanted to see him in his quote unquote proper position and all that stuff. I want to see Cucurella play in a way that's gonna, if it's a 4-3-3 and he plays left back, I want to see that, because then I can judge him as a left back playing there. If he still looks horrible, then fair enough, I can't say anything else. I hold my hand up.
You're looking at more from an attacking point of view. Who's in front of him to support the attack? I'm looking more for defensive.
I'll just say
defensive.
He's not a center back. I just don't see why he's getting played there. He doesn't have the awareness. He doesn't have the decision making of playing in that.
But as a left back, he's very good defensively.
Yeah, I think it's better. This guy used to play left wing in A-bar.
But Koulibaly is injured. Koulibaly is injured, so I also take that into consideration as well. Koulibaly apparently is injured.
Left back he's better, I think, and left back he's better overlapping. I swear, man, Chilwell does not cross the ball to save his life in the box.
Chilwell, I don't understand.
But again, this is the same thing that I said about. I must have been banging this Chilwell drum for about 4 weeks. It feels like. Actually, no, I was banging this drum since.
Come
May.
on the stream next time so we can hear you. Otherwise, why?
What does Chilwell offer then?
Don't bend your head and like at home.
He has nice hair. Javi has nice hair, bro.
Besides his occasional goal, what does Chilwell really offer to the side as a left back?
I think he could defend well as well.
To answer that question, I think he plays him on the left over
over Cucurella, because Cucurella can actually play a decent left center back, while Chilwell can't play left center back whatsoever. And I want to see what he does when Koulibaly is back. You know, when we
But
actually
the
have
thing
option
is,
center back.
I will say, despite how much I am like just shitting on him, like he can offer something. We've seen him offer something. He can offer something, especially in the final third.
But as much as Cucurella, I don't know, bro.
As I just said, right now he is either suffering from the injury still, which I don't believe, but I'm just putting it out there. Which, if that's the case, he shouldn't be playing because he's quite clearly not fit. If that's the case, or he's struggling with confidence, and again, shouldn't be playing because he's just putting in bad performances, and that, especially with what we heard about Chilwell, was it last season or the season before, after the World Cup, when we heard all the stuff come out about like how his mental health was, and like we know what this like if that's how it was, then you know what's like the poor performances and whatnot are going to do with that. It's going to make things worse, and I don't want that to happen. Like I don't want him to.
It's not like we can't just not play him. Like I think let's say poor in-game management I've seen from him is just because he's been out of the game for so long. I think it's the case where you have to play him back into form and that self-confidence, that self-belief. And I'm a lot more patient with him because let's be real. Last season, Alonso was our other option, or Sarr on the wing. Like I still don't think we've downgraded on that regard. And I think Cucurella's a quality signing from us.
I agree, but then I think you need to manage it. Like you said, then it needs to be managed better. Like both of your left, if it's a case of where you've got your one left wing back is need to either be playing back into form because his confidence is low or he's not fit, your other left back shouldn't be playing then, because like especially when they're not helping each other, they're not complementing each other. Like I agree, if this is how it is going to be, and especially with the centre backs, I agree with this four at the back thing. Like normally I don't really care about formations. I think it's just people whining for the sake of whining. But I kind of agree if like both of them can't play together, and I don't think we've got the centre backs right now to be playing a three at the back. So you need to play a four.
Koulibaly, what happened to him?
He seems to be injured or whatever.
Yeah, he has some
kind of knock. Some kind of knock. Can you remove
knock,
this?
knock,
it. It's like say something. Be careful with it. But like either Chilwell plays
remove
and
that
you
screen.
monitor him, or
too bright for my eyes.
The Twitter, man, the Twitter.
There we go.
Yeah, I just don't. The one thing I will say, regardless of who plays, I'm not too worried about who plays at the moment because I think I can agree that they've both kind of been arse. Is you cannot play both of them at the same time. I know it's only been 2 games. I can't be seeing both of them at the same time. It's painful.
But we've seen.
So we got to go to a 4.
Let me drop. You know what I missed a long time. I just want to see once Aubameyang, Sterling, and Pulisic.
Down the background,
Josh. I think.
Yeah, it's not me.
Oh no!
Praise the Lord, Alex. Me and Alex agree.
Me too, bro.
I just want to see.
Was that Alex? Could you say that again? Sorry, I got distracted.
I just want to see Monica Bellucci naked. I'm just kidding. No, I said one time. I just want to see. What's his name?
Man.
Auba, Pulisic, and Sterling as a front three, and a midfield of Jorginho, Robin Loftus-Cheek, and Mount.
Somebody
just play, man.
Take.
Just play.
Said he wants
Kovacic for me. Kovacic has to be in that midfield, but I don't know who I'd take out of Mount and Loftus-Cheek because the problem I have with, and I actually this goes back to I think something you were saying earlier. I had to kind of go in and out of mute, so I might have missed something. But
tell you,
I will be okay. What you're saying about the midfielders, the thing that I've like, what kind of on that is. We've got there's a couple midfielders we've got that are kind of just 2 similar profiles. Like I look at like Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic, and they remind me of like 2 similar profiles. They both want to get on the ball and drive with it and beat players. But it's like it's the same thing we've said about Mount and Gallagher in terms of they're 2 similar in terms of the type of profile they are. So playing them together means you've got 2 of the same type of midfielder, and it's just you're lacking then something.
Exactly.
Because you've got a midfielder who wants to get. So say you play those 2 and Jorginho, you've got a midfielder that wants to get on the ball and dictate play, and you've got 2 midfielders that can give you energy on and off the ball. But none of them are really that press resistant. So if anyone presses you, you're a bit fucked. So cool. Then you
in this scenario, just remember what I said. In this scenario, just remember what I said.
I say then you play Kovacic and Loftus-Cheek, and you've got 2 players that can beat players on the dribble, but in attacking areas, that's where it lets them down. And
that's
so
what I'm saying.
I do get what you mean.
That's the reason why I put what's his name? Mount over Kova. And technically, it's not over Kova. Technically, it's more of Robin Loftus-Cheek over Kova because the way we play. It doesn't. Tell you the truth, it doesn't really matter which ones are. They both in form and both better. I just don't know. Maybe it could be.
I get your point. It's like they want to play the same way, so playing both of them seems like a waste. It's not a bad thing in terms of you can't play them both.
It's a bad thing when they reach specific point of the field, they both dunk.
But that's the crazy thing is because what
Mount
made RLC
is better in that position than both of them.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm trying to say.
It's crazy because now you look at RLC, he gets the position and he gets outside. He looks like he does not know what to do. Like he drives, he doesn't know where to pass it, shoot, cross. And what made him like that player he was on the Sarri is the fact that he could get goals from midfield and can assist.
Look
how he was at Palace when he was playing as a left.
For me, it's the positioning. His positioning is not
exactly.
For
the way
Ruben
Robin Loftus-Cheek can hold the ball up top is better than Mount. Robin Loftus-Cheek can get the pass and hold the ball. Mount can get dispossessed more often than Robin Loftus-Cheek. But when you turn and the ball in front of you, Robin Loftus-Cheek loses that position to Mount. Mount is better. So I don't know what to do.
Like, to me, his passing has been awful the last 2 years. He's finishing the games in like the low 70s and completed passes. It's like,
who are you talking about?
Mount.
Yeah.
No, for me, is the losing of position. Last game against United, he lost position 17 fucking times, man. So it's the losing position is the issue with it for me now.
But this has been a problem with so many of our midfielders in general. Like, it's the same thing with Gallagher, it's the same thing with Mount, it's the same thing with Loftus-Cheek. Like, it's the same thing with Kante when he's fit. Like, the only two players that you can, most of the time, I'll say, because there are games where they don't, but most of the time, the only two players you can really rely on to keep the ball effectively is Kovacic and Jorginho. But then, as we've seen, and as we keep talking about, there are issues with playing those two. Like, they have their own issues. And this is the thing. Whoever we get in the midfield, right? I don't really care who it is at this point. Like, if it's Rice, it's Rice. If it's Alvarez, if it's Bellingham, if it's Fernandes, whoever, Enzo, that is. I want the midfielders to be good in possession where they can keep the ball and it's not just loose all the time. If you want to try something,
Bellingham could be as a 10, really good upper.
But like, that's why I like the idea of Fernandes, because he seems to be more progressive in terms of passing, and also he seems to be good in terms of keeping the ball. Like, I can't deal with these players like what we've mentioned in terms of these players that, like, they just can't keep the ball because it just exacerbates a problem. It puts us in transition all the time, and then you see Jorginho's faults because he can't keep up with it, and you see the issues with Loftus-Cheek because he's not really a DM or like good in defensive areas. So you see those problems, and then you see the problems.
It's not always available for Jorginho to pass it to him.
Yeah, and then you see the problems in terms of defense, especially with how we've got at the minute, where Aspi gets isolated, or Chilwell gets isolated, or your Silva's having to do more than he should be doing. Like, again, it's as I said, so many things just exacerbate like another thing, and it's just there's so many holes we need to fix in this team or this squad.
I see Balbo saying we're missing Kante. Kante's same kind of situation
right now.
He does the same thing. It's all over. He's going good forward. He dribbles at he's better passing than some of them, but he's still passing only wide. He's not creative enough to pass through the middle.
Yeah. Every good part about Kante is off the ball, or his not everything.
We do not press. Exactly, we do not press well. Lately, our team is not pressing well. We do not press.
I think that's a system. I think that's a little bit of a system change. I think instead of pressing when we,
I think it's Kante.
One at a time.
I'm sorry, Josh. I think it's Kante.
Without Kante, you mean?
Yeah, without Kante, we cannot press properly.
For me, I think
I hear that.
Yeah, we don't have. Yeah,
I think aggressive
with him.
When we don't have the ball, we were with Tuchel. We were pressing high with the forwards and the center forward. Now it's when we don't have the ball, we sit back a little more and do a little more countering as opposed to pressing. I think that's a slight system adjustment. Whereas let's do less. Let's attack the ball from a pressing standpoint, and let's invite them in a little bit, and then we'll counter them. There's been definitely more counterattacking under Potter than under Tuchel.
With the same result.
But
I will
yeah,
see
well, that's the problem. That see now you're in the default where you're not playing wingers. So now when you do turn them over on the counter, you have no wingers to get the ball to. It's
or
either
the midfielders that can accurately pass it in a short period of time. When you counterattack and your pass has to be on point.
Mm-hmm.
When you
I think on the pressing thing, I will say I don't think it's Kante. Well, I think I agree with
Kante's a
Josh in
major
terms of what he's saying. It's a part of it, but I think it's a systemic thing where you can tell that with what you're saying about like the press is disorganized. That comes from either the players not being coached on what the triggers are of where to press if they're trying to press, or certain players not being told to stop pressing. Like one player pressing by himself screams to me either they haven't been coached what the triggers are as a team, or he doesn't know that you shouldn't be, like, he has taken it upon himself to just press for no reason. And I can't work out which it is, and that both of those come from the manager. Both of those come from either the manager has not taught these players what the triggers should be. Like, for example, just a one-game example. Do you remember when we played Arsenal? When was it? It was the Jorginho own goal when Kepa, like, that whole mess that we had.
Yeah, April.
You could see that the Arsenal press was triggered and initiated the moment Zuma got the ball, because they knew that his decision-making and passing wasn't the best. So every time he got the ball, that's when they triggered the press. Like, they pushed up and got on whoever his options were. We're not doing that. We're not. We either we don't have a trigger, or these players are just not being coached of, like, you need to press there, and like these players are just taking it into their own account. And either way, it comes from the manager. Either way,
I think you press is the way you press, not only by the trigger, like you said. Do you need some? Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
For me, I think like one of the things I've noticed, and I think Potter kind of said it the other day in his press conference without like fully saying it, is that for me, why it looks so similar in certain aspects to Tuchel is because he's doing the same thing that Tuchel had to do, because he's coming in mid-season. Not even mid-season, it's fairly early in the season, but because he's coming in before camp, before all that stuff, and he hasn't had a lot of time, he's just doing what he thinks is best to get the best out of the players we have right now. So it looks very similar, like he's doing a lot of the same things we were doing, because it's really hard to implement your style and your system in a matter of 6-8 weeks. It's really hard to do that. Like, so I think instead of him saying, well, instead of the growing pains of me just trying to force them into this system and maybe dropping points or something, let me just try to organize them the best way I think is possible so that we can get results. And so I think that's where some of the similarity that people are seeing, like, oh, it looks the same as Tuchel. Like, yeah, because it's really hard to change the mindset of some of these guys in just a short amount of time. Like, he's more just trying to put everybody in an organized way to continue to try to get results and improve a little bit. You know, it's like it's really hard to say that we're watching what Potter is going to be doing, say, next season.
But isn't it better if he starts now to try to implement a system? Maybe half these players won't be here, but it's
that's
better.
what I'm trying to say.
At least the other half already have that ingredient.
It could be in the long run, but at the detriment of your season. I don't know if they want to do that. You know, I think they want to be in Champions League next year.
This is the time he should use to utilize that grace that he probably has from the owner.
Because how you buy the players without knowing which players you want to keep?
Well, part of me thinks they already pretty much know who they want to get rid of. And maybe some of the players are ready to go. So it's like, I mean, that's why you've seen us linked to so many certain guys. Like, I think they already have an idea of like who's going to go, who's going to stay in the next couple of windows.
Time will tell that, but I personally think the approach, I don't agree with it. Like, we want to see what he's trying to do from the get-go, and he needs to just take this opportunity to implement his style to these players, rather than trying to like balance things. Like, what's the point? Tuchel could have kept doing that, right? We brought him so he can build his team in his own image. He can start to like change his team to move forward. He needs to start now. We don't need to see the same thing that Tuchel was doing, or else we could have kept Tuchel and then waited.
That's why I think it's actually he actually not too much difference from Tuchel, because I don't see
any difference.
Well, that's the thing. Like, would you be happy more if he did that, but we finish in like say 7th or something?
Yeah, if
I'd rather him just try to get through this season, finish top 4, then have a whole off season to sort of try to implement that stuff. Like, I wouldn't be happy if we
Josh,
finished in 7th.
That's a lot on the transfer window. You put
Yeah.
so much eggs in one basket. You're relying on the transfer window.
Well, we're going to rely heavily on the next couple of windows. Absolutely. This wasn't like the only summer that we're going to be spending. Like the next 2 windows, at least the next 2 windows are going to be a lot of movement in and out. I get what you're saying. Like, you don't want to over rely on it, but if that means that you have to, by using the window to reshape your team, then you have to. That's what they're going to do. They're just they're going to use the window to bring in guys that they think fit what we want to do as a club more than the guys we have now, which I'm fine with. Listen, if it means you got to gut everybody and bring in new players to freshen up whatever, I'm fine with that. I want to win games. That's my ultimate goal, is just to win games. If it's, with a new group of players next season, then it's with a new group of players. But ultimately, I want to win.
You're trying this pragmatic style now, where you're just trying to get the results, but you're basically putting your style and implementing your style on the back burner. What if we don't end up making top 4 at the end of the season, right? So then we have 2 issues. The team hasn't understood what you're trying to do yet, and now we don't even have the luxury of a top 4 to attract those players that we think we're gonna get, and now we can start playing that style. We don't have anything to show for this season. At the very least, implement your style now. Whatever happens. It looks like the owners have put their faith in them, and you have that grace, a little bit of grace from them, even if we drop out. I think we all want to be in the top 4. I don't want to see our team outside of top 4. But at the very least, if we see some improvement and we see what he's trying to do and we're a little bit outside, we're all going to be a little bit more patient.
By the way, I think we actually have, our team is not as system dependent like Liverpool is. We can adjust. And I think Chelsea can be
flexible like that.
The what?
Liverpool ain't flexible like that.
No.
Well, you at least say we've got that versatility about us. It's just the same systemic problems in general.
Exactly. We are more versatile. Our players are more versatile in different positions, like other teams. So I think even if you try to establish some system, you can still have better performances going for our. And I don't mean just one system. You can apply, but you need to at least show, for example, one game that how you want to play, and for important games, play different style just to get through. One win the way you want to play, the system that you try to establish, and let, like, you see what I'm saying? And you can divert from it for different specific games. But you have to do something or you're going to get fired.
What do you guys think about the 4-3-3, like us playing in that 4-3-3? I know we didn't create chances, but do you guys think we could sustain this and play this more often?
We should. We should
definitely can.
Yeah, you know,
there's going to be problems with it.
There's
going to be problems wherever we play.
There will be problems, but will be a problems with different system that we play now too.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Problems no matter what. But I think we can make the most out of the players, the majority of the players, especially from an attacking point of view. That midfield is still going to suffer, but the midfield is suffering anyway. That's how much Jorginho is a liability, but he's still a better player in a 4-3-3 system.
Yeah, I think that's my thing. Like the 3 at the 5 at the back.
The more midfielders around Jorginho, the better. We can play
the more
4-4-2 forward. Why not play 4-4-2?
No, not 4-4-2. Like the thing for me, like with the 4 at the back thing is, unless we're going to play Cucurella at left centre back, and if you are, play a winger at wing back, play Sterling or Pulisic as the left wing back, then like we just don't have the centre backs to play a 3 at the back right now.
None of them are actually good left wing backs. They're not good. Chilwell was never a good left wing back. Even Cucurella was never a good left wing back. Alonso is actually a proper wing back.
No, Cucurella was a good left wing back.
Do what?
Cucurella was a good left wing back. Is a good left wing back.
He was a left back more than a wing back.
He started as a winger. Like he's a good.
Yeah, well, on that side. What's his name? Somebody started somewhere, but I think he's better as a left back than a left wing back. Even in Brentford, he's not that creative. Not much creation coming from left wing back, like for example the other guy on the right side that have what's his name? The ex-Chelsea kid.
What,
Lamptey?
Lamptey. He's not as creative as Lamptey.
Cucurella created more than him.
I was gonna say
Cucurella created more than Lamptey.
Yeah, Lamptey barely played. Like Lamptey
No, I'm saying talent as a creative player, like go run against the defender.
Oh, you're talking about like a one-on-one?
Yeah,
like,
one-on-one situation,
dribble?
because that's how you want to put the left wing backs in that situation. I think they should play left backs. I don't think we should play. I think we should actually finally move completely out of that back three lineup.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
I don't see what it's solving anymore. Like teams it's easy to play against us either way. Like so, might as well try to go.
I think I was gonna say as well. We don't even have a right wing back, let alone like we're talking about left. We don't even have a right wing back. Like
that's
like the problem we've
play
got. Yeah, we just don't.
I will play
right now,
Cucurella on the right and Achula on the left.
He doesn't have a right foot really. Like I like Cucurella, but he doesn't really have a right foot.
I don't know if you need a right foot. You can just have it.
Yeah, but it's crazy. I think
he's a winger by trade. Actually, he used to play winger.
Yeah, but then like if he's being inverted, you need whoever's going to be the winger on that side to be like wide, so he can invert. And, like, then you've got Mount or like I just feel like it's wasted. Whoever's going to then play there,
I think it should. If like, Pulisic is a right a wing back, right wing.
If Pulisic is playing, I want him on the left.
By the way,
I want him on the left.
Like I'm gutted on a personal level for Reece James missing the World Cup, but I think it's better for him because
he's not missing the World Cup.
What do you mean he's not missing the World Cup?
He's going to World Cup.
He's gonna go. I don't know if he's gonna play.
You sure?
He's gonna play. He got 4 or 5 weeks, man. He has plenty of time to recover.
Oh, he had a big ass brace on and shit, but
look.
I mean,
he might will miss a couple of games, qualification games.
But are you okay with it? Are you okay with him coming back right after? It's a bit of a risk, no? I think every time.
I know it's a risk, but I know he's going.
You know he's going to push it. Yeah, I know.
I don't want it, but I know he's going and he's playing.
I thought he was going to miss, and I thought that was better for him.
No.
But if he's playing, that's kind of going to be a detriment. I feel like because he's not going to be fully recovered. Get back to match speed. He's going to re-aggravate that injury again. But I feel like what's happening? we don't realize like
you don't know what I do for a living, D line, right?
Yeah,
so be quiet.
Reece James is like not just the goals and assists. I feel like our build-up play too. Reece James is such a big miss because he not only like helps that right hand side, he helps Mount 100%. On that side. Mount like 100%. Is a way better player with Reece James behind him.
A quick rewind back to the back three, back four. Do you guys remember? I didn't see it or read it, but I heard someone say that he said it. Potter said he didn't get here playing back four. Did you guys hear or read something like that?
Yeah, no, it's true. Heard of that, but it's like I'm like he didn't.
Like, what? You know, it's true. But like we can talk about we should play back four. My point is it even ever going to happen if he has that kind of stance?
I don't smoke
It will happen because he played back four like a few times under Brighton.
Yeah.
Like,
right, but we want that to be like a thing, a standard go-to formation.
But then it's just not going to happen though, because like it kind of depends as well. Because it depends on what we have available as well. Because I think next game, I genuinely come tomorrow. I genuinely think we will play a back four. But again, that comes from we don't have the players to play a back three. We just, regardless of whether people want it or not, we just don't have the players. Like, we don't have the right wing back, really. We don't have the centre backs. Like, especially if Cucurella's out as well, like with the tonsillitis thing, which it sounds like he might be.
I believe it. That tonsillitis thing, man.
So that affected.
There will come times when we play back four, but
remember Mount count tonsils.
No, I remember he's out. Yeah.
Remember how bad?
It wasn't tonsillitis. It was wisdom tooth.
Yeah, wisdom tooth. Yeah. You don't have idea how much that thing is.
I never had it, so.
Dude,
I need it.
Yeah. We can't keep playing all our defenders at the same time. Even if Cucurella is fit, we'll have 3 defenders: Chalobah, Koulibaly, and Thiago Silva. We can't play all 3 at the same time every game. It gives us a risk of.
By the way,
that's why we need to go back to back four.
What's good with Fofana? Any news update on it?
I think he won't be back till about after the World Cup.
Yeah, that's what.
Damn.
Yeah. So at least, respectfully, I'm glad he's not going in that case.
And
So-
Chalobah's holding it down. Yeah, Chalobah's holding it down. He's playing better than him.
Say, regardless about the fact of like depending on what formation we play, if everyone's fit, like he doesn't start.
Yeah,
not right now.
What do you mean he don't start?
No, I mean I'm just glad he's not going to World Cup.
Would you start him over Chalobah?
Yeah.
No,
Who
you
do
wouldn't.
start him over?
A fully fit Fofana?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Not the Fofana I've seen so far with it for us.
well,
Chalobah's been
I guess I'm not arguing this. Whatever. I guess.
It's like
He's been good. I will not deny he's been good in the 2 or 3 games you saw.
I'm not saying Chalobah is bad.
Chalobah has
Like,
been.
Don't get me wrong.
Chalobah's there's an argument. There's a genuine argument to be made for so far this season. He's been in our top 3 best players this season. There's a genuine argument you can make.
Well, because we played 6 games, and he been good for 3.
Yeah, due to the based on a limited number of games.
Yeah,
I think based on the number of games we played so far, I think you can make the case that he's in there. Like for me, it's probably him, Silver, and
it's like 6
Sterling.
games. Come on.
But my point is that he's been one of our best players in what we've played so far. So
It's
you can't.
sad because Scott, it's
I'll
sad
say him
because
and
again,
Silver are our nailed-on starters. Like apart from rotation, him and Silver are nailed-on starters whether we play a back 3 or back 4.
exactly. You know what sad it is that our defenders or defensive players keep getting man of the match.
That's been going on for what, 3 years?
We've had that for a very, very long time.
Yeah, man, it's always been.
I knew it was pulling that up.
But the thing is, when we
I
like
it though. I like
when we come to like this argument about why attack struggles, I genuinely feel like our biggest problem is like these for the front 3, they're just not creative enough. Like when you get to the final third, you need to have an imagination. Like I understand it's the midfield as well, but like when you get to in the final third, you're gonna have to have imagination and creative play about you to break down a back line, especially a back line of like say Varane and Martinez. You're not just gonna go and try to play simple passes around them. You're gonna have to.
Xavi.
What you
remember the old good days that midfield creates for the front line?
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's not a problem. I'm not saying like that's not a problem either. But I do feel our midfield does get not as often and it's not dynamic enough. But I do also feel
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Look how to explain it better. Midfield is responsible for the forward to give him the best scenario forward can get to score. Midfield is responsible for that, not forwards. The midfield department is responsible to give the circumstances for the forward to be in the best position and the best available position and best scenario for him to get the best outcome. Midfield is responsible. When we put in too much pressure on a forwards line to create, forget about the creation. Who's gonna score? Because you put in creation and scoring on them now.
But they're attack.
Yes, they attacking, but you're supposed to create for yourself and score. That's 2 jobs.
But this is what
I'm
not
saying.
saying.
No. I understand it could be done, but it couldn't be done on consistent level.
A good example is Lukaku. Remember when Mateo Kovacic fed him against Villa? He put him in a perfect position, complementing the run he made. He did the rest. The rest of the season, they're not giving him the ball in those types of areas. They expect him to do what he doesn't do best with that ball.
I understand that. I understand that, but what I'm saying, if you look at, so for instance, like you look at teams like a Liverpool or something like that. Like when you playing in these games where the defense, like teams cancel out each other, and you're playing a high level team like a Man U. I understand that the midfield provides for the attackers. Like I don't get that wrong. Without the midfield, the attack doesn't work. But I simply feel like the attackers we have are not good enough in the attacking space. Like
Chelsea Balboa, this is exactly what I'm saying. What I was saying.
I'm not asking for individual brilliance. I'm talking about connection with each other. You know, one person, like say, like one person makes a move off, like interlinking with each other. We're not good at that.
I agree with you.
On a complete side note, like we're not a side note, but just kind of linked to this. because I was just looking up because I was interested in what this would be. Does anyone know who our top assists are, like our top assisters are this season?
The players around the what's the name? Around the forwards.
There's two people that are linked, and they've had 2 assists, both of them this season. Anyone know who they are? Or want to guess?
I'm gonna say De Bruyne is definitely
never getting
one.
one of them. I'm telling you now, you're never getting one of them.
Davo.
No,
You're talking about the league?
Yeah, in the league.
Silva?
Right now?
Silva?
That was the one I didn't think you'd get. Yes, Thiago Silva is one of them.
Are you talking for Chelsea or for all the Premier League?
Chelsea.
Oh, for Chelsea.
Nope.
Chelsea, Babylon, you're missing my point completely, brother.
It's Cucurella and Silva have had the most assists.
Oh
for us
yeah,
this season in the league.
Koulibaly and against Spurs.
That tells you a lot that one of our centre backs is like we've got no creativity in our team. None.
Fucking hell, bruv.
That's what I was trying to say. Like you cannot be sustainable if you just rely on the forward brilliance.
But we have none. like I'm not saying we
no,
have.
Like, I was trying before Scott said it. I'll give you a scenario why I'm frustrated, because as I was explaining, midfield goes to the position and they go wide, right?
That was
foot.
not my point, by the way. Just
yeah. What I was trying to say is, like, for example, when you go on wide, right? What's the length between the field sides? Is it 90 meters? No. 100 meters long, and how wide?
Maybe.
It depends.
It depends, really. It could be 50.
Like, let's say 60 meters, right?
Yeah.
So the 3 players can have to be cover the front that space of, let's say, 60 meters, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, when you go on wide, where's supposed to be the farthest left forward be?
Furthest left forward.
Yeah, for example, if it was Sterling on the left, Auba in the middle, and Mount on the right. When Mount play in possession with what's his name, with let's say Reece James on the right, they control that right side. Like Mount over there, where do you want Auba to be in this scenario?
Be closer to Mount.
Okay, you see, I don't want him to be closer to Mount. I want creative enough player in this situation that can actually not rely only on pass, but either take a man on or make an accurate pass. Because when you asking for Auba to come closer to Mount, that means Sterling even farther. Remember, Sterling cannot rely on left wing back because opposite side he has to be defender just to get counter.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in this scenario, Sterling is left by himself. And what happens with Auba get close to Mount? Why not, for example, if he loses possession, he's already without like he has to track back. What if you're trying to pass it to what's his name? To Sterling. Sterling has only single responsibility, too much responsibility. He has to control the ball. He has to take care of the center back that's going to be on him in a minute, and the right back. Nobody close to him. You see what I'm saying? You're spreading too wide players because you're relying on the individual brilliance. Because the midfield doesn't exist in Chelsea. Remember that?
But Alex, can you not alleviate that with adding an extra body in the attack or in midfield? Because right now, what we're doing, we only have 5 players really attacking in one end. But the issue with that is we have these 2 wing back that are not good enough. Because when Reece James is not playing, that affect us, and we have people that are meant to play wide, like on a wing, but we have they're not playing, like the 2-8 that play behind the striker. Usually play Mount, who's not a winger, can't dribble, and then we have Sterling, who has to tack in and has to be closer to Aubameyang at times. So I feel like we need to change this formation. I think it's a formation issue now.
For example.
Brighton Feco vlog, the comment is really what I was trying to prove.
Can I not ask my winger to be at least one person, like a game or 2?
Yes, Pulisic
does it.
Like doesn't do it consistently. I will say that doesn't do it.
Yes, I understand. That's not like
Sterling doesn't do it consistently. I like that.
I think on the paper, who's better?
On paper,
Pulisic as a winger. Oh,
what as in who's better at taking their player on? Sterling?
And no. At that three front three, who's like is who? In that front
What,
three,
everyone or like
overall, Mount or Pulisic?
Pulisic.
That's what I was trying to say. We don't have that creative. If you put somebody in that situation with no midfielders that we have, you gotta put the proper player over there that can do his job, because he's a winger already,
and that
he knows how to do it.
Alex, that's my problem. Is like we have like in those front three formations where we play the three at the back, we're having like hybrid midfielders playing that position. It's annoying.
Look, when I'm saying like I see you cheer Babo cheering because I'm talking Pulisic. I agree that Pulisic is better in that scenario than Mount. I just don't think they both are consistent enough, no matter who's playing in that position. Either Kai Havertz, he's not consistent in that position, or Mount is not consistent in this position, or Pulisic. I just think Pulisic was treated unfairly because he played one game well and then he dropped. And every time he came, he was a guy that made the change. Yeah. I don't want us to be reactive and put him as a sub all the time.
My brother's a Man U fan, and he watched a game. He said, "Why doesn't Potter play Pulisic sooner?" Or because he was just never scared of Mount or what he was doing against his backline. Like he's not afraid of him taking him on. The most you get is probably a shot, but that wasn't happening.
Again, I think that the thing with the subs is what I said yesterday. I think the thing with the subs is it's different now, where you get 5 subs but 3 stoppages. You have to be a bit more tactically aware of when you do them. You can't just make all of them straight away, because it's then what if you get an injury in like the 80th minute or so. You have to be kind of a bit smart with how you do it. You have to basically, effectively, what you have to do is for 2 of those stoppages, if you want to make all your subs, you have to effectively either do 3 subs at once or 2 subs at once twice. And then you have to work out when's the best time to do that and whatnot. So I understand
Harry Potter
I'm not talking about
fake jab as a substitution.
Yeah, he shot himself in the foot, isn't it? He shot when he.
Now we needed to do that though. The early one you're talking about?
No, that's fair enough. But the thing is, if we do that early one,
no, I'm talking about the second one. I'm talking about the second one.
If we do that early one, say we do bring Pulisic on for Mount early in like the 55th minute, then you've got 1 stoppage where you can make up to 3 subs, and we needed all 3 subs with how badly we were playing. So then, do you then risk making all 3 subs and it affecting the way your team's playing, or like you have to be a little bit smarter about it? So
the reason why I was saying in Man United the way he made the substitution, not the Kova is obligated. Kova was obligation. You had to do it. What I was saying is, what's his name? Harry Potter realized that the Ten Hag has it's like a make chess, like he already made the move. So Ten Hag reacting to move. So he realized that Ten Hag reacting to his subs. So what he did is he made the false sub. Remember when he made the Pulisic make the play as a false 9?
Yeah.
Remember that substitution? When he made play false 9, he made the reaction out of Ten Hag to make a sub. And then he switched back and put Broja in. Because when he made that sub, he didn't think Broja is coming in. He think that we're gonna play false 9, so he brought that McTominay to pack the midfield, so we will not have the fluidity with false 9. Remember that?
Yeah.
So when he brought that, look, that game opened my eyes so much about the Chelsea team. We are shit.
Yeah, we're bad.
Oh, we are. I will say on the creativity thing, going back to that briefly, is I don't think this is a thing of like we're not creative enough in the midfield or in attack or whatever. It's a whole team problem. Like if you go and look at like not even the best teams, like I'm just looking through these assists things and I'm seeing some of the names in this assist. It's not a lot, you know, a lot of players have like 3 assists. But I'm just looking at it, and I take a team like Fulham, for example. They've got creativity coming from their fullbacks, coming from their deep midfielders, coming from their attacking midfielders. Even like Mitrovic has a little bit of creativity about him as a striker. And it's like, this is Fulham. Again, no disrespect, but like you would think that we would have the better players and therefore should have the better creativity, at least on paper, at least. And it's like, this is the thing is, we don't have enough creativity in the attack, like consistently, but then we also don't have enough creativity in the midfield. And when James is out, we have like no creativity coming from the wing backs or the fullbacks or whatever. So it's like we've got basically no creativity coming from anywhere when like James is like the only player we've got that can consistently create, is consistently creative. And it's like we rely on it too much in that regard. And it's like
like both
of you are right in terms of Xavi and Alex. Like both of you are right.
Yeah.
Like,
And my point was not to disregard the
we need more
midfield.
creativity in the attack. That's what I'm hoping that like Nkunku will bring. Like he seems like he's going to bring that creativity in attack. But then I'm hoping that if we get someone like a Enzo Fernandez, that'll bring the creativity we need in the midfield. We need creativity in both areas.
But the thing is, my point was not to disregard. Sorry, Scott. My point was not to disregard them. If I know that's a problem, but I also like say we get the midfield now and they're providing for these attackers. I feel like the attackers still can't do anything with it. Like, you know what I mean? But I do think that we're missing in the midfield someone to help us with those assists and goals as well. Either because we have these guys. Like I feel like Kovacic can do it, but he doesn't do it consistently enough. Like at least get into that final third to help the players with assists or goals, you know, from that midfield, and we don't have that either. Because, for example, perfect example, you look at Man United's midfield, right? They have Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes. Those guys are there to help those attackers score. And as much as nobody wants to rate like Bruno, I think he does help them in scoring in the system. Like he's
a good passer. He'll not shy passing from the deep.
He's not a good passer. The thing that he's got that none of our players have got is he'll try something. Actually, no.
Yeah,
Ziyech will do that, and Mount used to, and it used to frustrate the shit out of him.
At least he'll try to pass it.
Yeah, it'd be the same thing with Bruno in his team. He would frustrate the ever-loving shit out of me. One thing I will say, at least he does try it ever so often. Like he does try that long switch. Like it would be frustrating as shit when it didn't come off for about 99 times. But the one time it did come off in the 100th time, it would be nice. And that's what we don't have. We don't have anyone that is willing to do that, apart from Mount, or he used to, and Ziyech. But people don't want to see Ziyech play. So,
or even look at Eriksen. Before I watched him yesterday, even though I didn't think he had the greatest game, but he does subtle stuff. Like before he gets the ball, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
and he passes it and moves it on so quickly. I feel like our players don't do that, and it slows the game down. Like, go get it into that guy who's checking into the half space. And
do you know what's by the way? I've just thought, I can't remember when it was. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. I was watching a video, a Sunday League video, because there's a Sunday League team I like watching on YouTube. And the team they were playing against, one of the other players in the other team did a reverse pass, like a no-look reverse pass. And I'm just sat here thinking, there isn't a single player on our whole team that could make that pass. And that was a Sunday League player making that pass. And there's not a single player on our whole fucking team that could make that like reverse pass to split a fullback and a centre-back. Oh, our club is in the bin. Not a single player.
But do you guys think, like, we've been accommodating in this formation, or whatever we do, we accommodate a lot defenders rather than the prima donnas in our squad are the attackers. But I feel like we haven't, all the managers, Tuchel and Potter so far, they haven't come to a formation where they will accommodate our attackers. What I'm saying is, if you put Chalobah, for example, I'm just pick Chalobah. So all our defenders are fit. Chalobah can sit on the bench. He's not going to kick up a big fuss compared to, say, a Pulisic on the bench. Because if you have a formation that accommodates Pulisic, Sterling, Mount, Aubameyang, you have less disharmony in the squad. I feel like someone like Pulisic, he has a good game, you put him on the bench. And then you keep doing that for a number of games, it becomes a bigger issue. Say, for example, with Chalobah, who is okay to sit on a bench. So therefore, if you switch a formation where you don't have too many defenders on the pitch, that could work. I don't know. That's just, I feel like we need to have an extra body in either midfield or attack. This 3-4-3 is not working anymore. I think Tuchel realized the reason Tuchel went to this formation, it was to rectify Lampard defensive mistake because we're conceding too many goals. But I feel like
there was Rudiger. There was not only there's Thiago Silva. There was Rudiger. That team was crying for back three.
Yes, but now this team, I don't think this team necessarily is crying for that. I feel like Koulibaly and Chalobah are quick enough, and we have another guy. For obviously, he's not playing for Fana. I think they're good enough to play in a back four. But I know the midfield is not working, but if you have three players closer to Jorginho, you could somehow make it work. Because I see Italy do it. Obviously, I know you can't compare international football, but you can somehow work it with it. I feel like the back three there's something missing when I see. Count how many Chelsea players in the box. We don't have enough players in the box. Even if you get a deflection or anything like that, we don't have enough players to take advantage of it.
I just think it's limiting.
Have enough. Do you know what I mean?
Like if you look at, say, Man U, I'm thinking of Man U system yesterday. Ten Hag, like gets to know his team. Their system makes sense. You have
2.5 hours, man.
Shaw, Martinez, Varane, Dallo, Casemiro as a 6, 2 8s, Bruno, and 2 proper wingers. They're just missing a striker to me. I think they're just missing a proper striker. I mean, Rashford can do a job, but
Lewis.
Yeah.
Are you always that unorganized person, or
in terms of what? It was a random attack.
No, I was about to leave, and I was like you late, like your streams are like
yeah. Jim was late.
He got nothing to do. That's
impromptu. Just go with it.
Yeah, like
yeah, you know, it's always 2:30 or 3 random start somewhere. Like
yeah, but since you started talking to yourself on the stream for the first 30 minutes, it's not only that you're late 30 minutes. Now we late for an hour. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, so you're like indirectly saying, "Can you hurry the fuck up?" So I
yeah.
Okay, I get you.
Because
long story short, I basically moved gym, so I can do this a bit earlier now. But yeah,
who's the gym?
I was there late, so that's the reason why this stream is late.
Going to the gym.
You know who Jim is, bro. Can't be. Well,
I don't know. I just don't see improvements. The shirt looks saggy. The shirt looks a year ago.
Soon, yeah?
He said he's trying to say no improvements.
No,
Alex just came with the attack.
Is that right? Flex your arm, bruv. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. There's a little bit. Fair enough. Hey, those triceps are kind of wormy, you know.
Yeah, man. Jeez.
Yeah, you know what?
Do you think I'm like I like to wear loose clothes? I just trolling Kai. I'm not as better. Kai think like I'll show you. I'm not gonna show you.
Yeah,
I'm just a big stocky guy.
Cool.
Like.
Anyone got anything else they want to add though? By the way, because we've been going for like 2.5
Tired
hours.
of the back.
How much have we actually talked about the game tomorrow?
Barely. We can.
I don't care about the starting lineups. That's it.
Yeah, we don't know what Potter's going to do
about starting lineups.
Yeah, because we never get the formation right.
The only reason why I want, I don't want. Sorry, Scott. The only thing I want from the starting lineup, it should be strong enough to win the game, and then you rest players, not the other way around.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching it for that one.
I think there is going to be some rotation again. If reports to be believed, I think there's going to be a lot of rotation in terms of like basically everyone or most people that didn't start against United is going to be starting. So people, I think like Brozier, Gallagher, players like that, Pulisic, I think. But yeah, like we just need to win, and we're through. And then you can rest players and rotate and do all that jazz and good stuff in the last game against Zagreb.
Do we have to win that one to finish top, or we don't?
If results go our way, we can finish top. But all we need to do is win, and we're through. We're guaranteed to go through.
I want to see a little bit more intent in that.
I think I'm happy with Brozier's style.
I like Brozier.
There was one transition that fucked us the last time we played them. Other than that, we were in control.
That Benjamin Sesko is one to watch.
Who?
I think he's hurt. No,
is he not?
Yeah, I think he might be off the bench for this game. I heard he's just coming back from an injury. Okafor was the one I was looking at. Scored against us the last game, and I think he's got 3 UCL goals. I think he's been their top goal scorer this season.
Actually, by the way, I was wrong. We don't even need to win. If we draw, we're through.
Yeah, but if we win, we're basically group winners, unless we lose by like 3 goals.
I think we're through anyway. Hang on.
No, we're through in general, but as group winners,
we're not through.
We're basically through if we win.
Yeah.
Okay, no. If we draw and Milan don't win, like there's a lot of permutations to it.
No,
but,
head-to-head with Milan, we betted.
It's not head-to-head. It's goal difference. Is the
no, head-to-head. Sorry, Scott, he's head-to-head.
Yeah, I swear it's
head-to-head. Yeah, the tiebreaker is head-to-head in the UCL.
And how were we third after
Don't you remember when we got knocked out in 2012? It was because of head-to-head.
No, it used to. I thought it used to be head-to-head, and it got changed recently because
it used to be goal difference. They changed it to head-to-head like I don't know 4 seasons ago or something like that.
Because we were third, but it was because of goal difference.
Like we got knocked out in 2012 because of head-to-head.
Fuck knows. I got clue what's going on with that. But yeah, I think then, yeah, if we win, we're definitely through. And then if Milan don't win, we're guaranteed to finish top, I think.
As long as once we get to that point, we can rotate for Zagreb, and I think that means a lot to us with the last week before the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hoping we don't take the piss.
Actually, no, sorry. If it's head to head, we win. We're guaranteed top. If we win, we're guaranteed top. If it's head to head record.
Because that's the reason Barcelona let it out. Because whatever they do, if Inter Milan beat Victoria,
Yeah, because if we win,
they
the
haven't
only
won to them.
team,
So.
if we win, the only team that can match our points is Milan, and we've already beaten them twice. So yeah, if we win, we finish top.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get it over with, and we can rest players for that
over
game.
with. Guys, we're gonna wrap up here, but we will be doing a watch along tomorrow. So, lock in from 5:15, and we're gonna be live for like the next 2 or so hours. You guys, as always, you're invited. So, if you guys want to hop on, give me a shout, and yeah, like, subscribe, big up.
You doing watch-alongs tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm not going to Salzburg. Fuck that. So yeah, I'm gonna do a watch along on here.
Is
Salzburg
Fatter going?
Nah, Fatter ain't going. He was streaming from his yard earlier, wasn't he? But yeah, big up everyone. Like, subscribe.